Futures back to the downside this morning as we get going on a Monday after a bit of a rally into the close to end the week. No such luck on continuation. More fears over what these tariffs and overall economy condition could transpire here going forward as we get a little more information on how this will play out, possibly coming up this week. We'll touch on that coming up. Overall market downside here this morning, not only both the NASDAQ and the S&P, but individual names specifically standing out here. Tesla with quite the move to the downside here so far this morning on a negative UBS note. We'll touch on that. There are a few to the upside as well. Airbnb, I was just noting with an upgrade this morning. So Airbnb has given it back now, but was up nicely here on light volume coming off that upgrade. But so much to talk about this morning coming off again what happened last week. We get Powell to end the week. We get Trump almost every day, it seems. Dara and I were just, Sharif off today, Dara's with me. Dara and I were just saying before we came on, maybe we'll get more random Oval Office press conferences throughout the week this week just to get more action for the overall market.
It's pretty interesting because a lot of what's said in some of these conferences is going to have a ton of overlap. Lately, tariffs have been the theme, and it's very rare that something new will be said on tariffs. Sometimes it's just rewording, but yeah, I think we'll have to find out. Certainly, it'll be interesting. It's been really exciting to follow this news cycle for sure. One other catalyst, too, that's going to be on watch, I think, today, were all of these names that are going to be added to or moved from these different S&P indices. Some of the names impacted include Hims and Hers. We know we're going to have DoorDash on watch as well. And even some of these names that didn't get added that were expected to, like Robinhood, Coinbase, AAPL, all on watch.
Yeah, one of those types of catalysts, though, when you do get that announcement, typically in a quote-unquote normal market, yeah, it's going to move the actual stock. But with the overall sentiment and so much uncertainty, we'll see. I mean, we saw Airbnb there. We'll touch on Dash as well. Dash has already given back most of that gap to the upside. We're back to basically flat. There's Tesla. 3.6% negative note this morning on Tesla. Price target cut coming through as well. We're back to basically Friday's low, and it's 8:33 right now. Oh, by the way, how are you enjoying the lack of 1 hour sleep? Happy Monday, guys.
Sleep? I ain't worried about no sleep. I mean, we turned the clocks back yesterday.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
We were talking about this morning. Like it was a lot darker coming in this morning.
Welcome, everybody.
Than it was.
We've got Obi here.
Hello.
Thing is, I heard on the way in that today is 24% more likely to have a heart attack.
Wait, what?
Today, because of the added stress,
From the lack of. So it just goes to show how important sleep.
It's like a medical thing.
Yeah.
Like this is not me saying that. There's doctors. Like this is a thing.
So an increased probability.
So get ready. So not only do we have this market going here, but then we have the risk of heart attacks.
I mean, this market might have a 20% increased chance of a heart attack after the past 3 weeks of selling. Sellers have clearly been dominant over the past 3 weeks. When will they stop?
Really?
Where's the capitulation? It hasn't even come.
I mean, I wrote down Tesla here that we'd like to short this thing at 258. Unfortunately, we wrote this down about a half hour ago when we were at 255. Well, now you're down to 253 and getting lower here. The NASDAQ is like stepping on the throat right now of index investors. I mean, this is starting to get a little bit of something. We have IBIT today on watch. I was about to put out this thing, and I forgot that I didn't have a crypto play on there. I do like some Mara love as well. But yeah, if we just look at the triple Qs, basically as quick as we can here. Sharif's not in today. I'm feeling under the weather, so that's I saw some of you asking about Adara, so we're really happy to have her filling in on the desk. But yeah, man, it's you mentioned sellers here, Obi. I mean, ever since we broke that 380 shelf right there, there really hasn't been. Hello.
Thank you.
Some nice ripe bananas I see there. Neil, my friend, would be loving that. But yeah, ever since we broke that 380, now it's coming right into the downside. We broke through the 200 period moving average. We didn't even think about holding it really. There was one day where we bounced a bit and then boom, down to the downside. Now I think we're looking at, honestly, another 7 to 8% get down into here into 220 or so for this NASDAQ. And then...
And funny thing, we were talking
Randy
about
was
that,
just here
that on increased volume as well, right? So it's like as the price gets lower, there's more and more sellers, people pulling in.
What was that, sorry?
On the Tesla, it's like as it's been selling off, the volume's been increasing.
I have, and you and I talked about this. I have a feeling of like You had mentioned the S&P 500 now double at least the relative volume here in the AM.
In the pre-market.
And I'm getting that flushing feeling as well. Is that Joe, my guy in the background over there? Yo, what's up, Joe? Joe's in the building right now.
Joe in the
yes, so I don't know. I'm getting flushy feeling right now. I mean, NVIDIA just took down 110 as well to the downside. So that's been sort of bouncing around here in the AM. And right there, we just took it. So finally, for the first time here, taking down 975, looking a little bit lower. Tonight, we have Oracle. I could see the same thing happening to Oracle that happened to Broadcom, where they come up with a good number, gets to the upside. We're all pretty happy with it. Then it gets hit first thing in the morning, only before it recovers. We did have a decent recovery, though, on Friday with the NASDAQ. So we'll see if we can get something else going here. You know, Donald has talked about, remember, he was saying he didn't want to do the tariffs April 1st because people thought he would be joking.
Yeah.
So he went to April 2nd.
Yeah.
So right now we're a couple weeks away until a lot of those tariffs get implemented here on our side of it as well. So we do have a new liberal leader, which doesn't really matter, but that sort of settled down there. John Carney. I don't know if you care about that. Not really, right?
I haven't really been following.
I mean, neither really. I just thought that was last night. So hopefully we had Kevin O'Leary on Friday talking about leadership and things like that here in Canada. So temporary, we do have someone else new at the helm. I think he'll be sworn in today there. And
Really?
so that should be fun. And then I'm pretty certain,
I should probably follow Canadian politics a little bit more.
No, you don't need to. I do think, well, you can if you want. I do think that the Conservative, although I want to see, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but, as O'Leary was mentioning, the Conservatives will probably take the House coming up, I don't know when, hopefully in the summer and in the fall.
Yeah.
And then we can start to maybe some more serious negotiations. But, yeah, I think dip buy opportunities are here. I've been buying a little bit of the the S&P 500 over the last couple of weeks, and probably leaving some powder dry now, as I feel like they could get a couple days to the downsides.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see if these sellers eventually step off. And like I mentioned earlier, there's no real sign of any sort of capitulatory action just yet. I mean, I don't know, but let's see. Who knows if we even get that? Maybe we just get a gradual kind of buying back up to the upside. But yeah, taking a look on the weekly here on the spider, you can see, like, look, okay, 3 weeks of strong selling, but bigger picture, we're still well within. We're well within this trend, right? Again, if I just simply draw, I think a bunch of indicators might show up. But okay, no, see, kind of breaking this trend, but like still, if you
what was that bottom?
Higher
What
time
was
frame,
that indicator? Down
this right here?
Yeah.
I think I put in levels here because of volume I might have observed.
Oh, October 23. Okay.
Yeah, in and around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've left them on. I don't know. They're insignificant.
But even what you just drew there, it's breaking.
So it's cracking.
A significant break there on the week, I feel like.
Yeah, this is a significant break on the weekly. We did that last week. But yeah, again, we've done that before, right? You can see right here, 2020, 2021, sharp, accelerated kind of trend. We break, we slow down, and almost 2022 to 23, we have a bit of a chop, slow pullback. And I don't know, are we poised for a little bit more of that in the coming year? I have no idea. But yeah, a little bit of a trend break, but bigger picture trend still seems well within intact. But I'm waiting for those sellers to kind of step off. I don't know.
I mean, I want to just, we said this before, over the last 50 years, there's been 27 10% moves or more over the last 50 years, which means we roughly get one every 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're getting it right now. And out of those 27, I think 13 of them, thank you, Randy, 13 of them were 23% or more. You forgot to ask Ob? Is that for me or for Ob?
I just got mine.
Oh, you just got one.
Boom.
Oh, I got a flat tire yesterday. You remember we were just sort of talking about it? Yeah. So I pulled over on Lakeshore. It was after the hockey game yesterday. So it was in. They played at 1 p.m. The Scepters, the Toronto. Oh, we were season. I'll get the video. We were season ticket holders of the game.
Nice.
Yeah. So we were up on the jumbotron there. So that was pretty fun. But anyways, yeah, flat tire. So pulled over, got ready to go. Had the spare in the back. Started going, and then listen to this. Some guy out of nowhere, like we weren't even, so I pulled off Lakeshore and I went into like a little bike roundabout there, which was really, really cool. Lots of space. Anyways, I started getting it out, getting the hitch ready, and some nice guy pulled over. I was like, hey man, let me help you. Wow. I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's nice. So the next thing I know, the guy's underneath the car. He's getting it all going. I was like, all right. I was like, oh, you know.
Really helpful.
So we helped. Yeah. So I was like, wow. So that made me, and I was like, thank you so much for doing this. And he told a story that he blew a tire on his bike up north, and someone stopped and helped him. So and they told him to pass it forward, pay it forward. Good. So good word. So then I had to promise him that I would do the same thing. So I thought that was really nice.
That's a happy Monday story.
Yes. And so that was really nice. So I thought that was cool. But then I went to Canadian Tire, $500 a tire. And they don't even have them in. So I got to order them. And apparently if you have a 4x4, you need to have all 4 tires the exact same.
I know a guy.
Randy knows a guy.
I have a thing into my guy now. Yeah. But how true is that? If you do have 4x4, they said that all 4 tires have to have the same treads.
Yeah.
Treads and so I'm looking for a certain Continental tire. So
nice.
Anyways, maybe I'll talk to you about that. But
talk to me.
There's a website that you have too, I know, that ships the tires. So we'll look at that. I was all over that last night.
See you, Randy.
And then this is the thing about Canada, by the way. Poor Brendan and Adara. They just have to listen to me ramble on over there. I apologize. But anyways, as we're changing the tire, I go to the guy.
Yeah.
I go, oh, well, now you just got to go to Costco and, get a new tire. He's like, Costco's American. I was like, wow, this is actually hard hitting. And then my wife is there, so we went to Canadian Tire. So there we go, man. So the tariffs and all that is definitely affecting buying levels as well. Stop yelling at me in the chat there, because people want the sticky note out. But the thing is,
oh boy.
We have Michael
I see the sticky note.
You see it right here, right?
I see it right there.
It's full up. I don't know. I was going to put something on iBit on here. All right, let's go back over to the desk, and we will figure out what the next step is here. I believe Michael Nosh is going to be waiting around, but let's go see what Brendan and Adair are up to. Did you guys get a flat tire on the weekend or anything?
Not this weekend, but I have done that many, many times. The last one I got actually was getting off 401 going into Yorkdale, and I managed to make it into the actual parking lot, but it's a disaster when that happens. Have you ever had that experience?
I do not drive and am not ever going to be behind the wheel of a car, so unfortunately I cannot relate.
Yeah, it's not fun.
The good thing it worked out for Sean.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's bring in Mr. Noss, is waiting patiently over there in the green room.
And we have tremendous people very interested in this subject.
Trump is joining us apparently randomly here this morning. I don't know where that came from, but there's obviously audio. Michael Noss is watching Trump videos. Let's be honest. That's what's happening right now. We'll work on that. But anyways. Whenever, guys, just bring him back in. He spent his entire weekend, he told me, looking at meme coins, which he typically does over the weekend.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Why are you watching Trump videos at 8:44 in the morning?
That tripped me out. I thought it was me for a second. It's one of those, you got 1,000 tabs open. I'm like, uh-oh.
One is
playing, but
one has to be playing Trump somewhere. All right, you want to talk about the market here a little bit? I mean, it could be worse. I mean, this daily candle on your first chart here is actually maybe constructive even.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to just come on and repeat myself all the time, but I've talked a little bit about how year 3 of a bull market is generally a constructive year, and I think it's a good thing to have year 3 of a bull market be choppy when you have 2 back-to-back 20% years. But this last down move was pretty strong. I know, we're looking at the market this morning. We're gapping down a little bit. Everyone's kind of bearish, but I just wanted to give everyone a real simple way to look at trading if you still wanted to buy stocks and you still want it to be a little bit bullish, right? And again, you don't have to make it complicated. I made a tweet on the weekend about this. So this back test that I have here is one that I've been working on a little bit and kind of playing with, and it's simply buying new all-time highs, just on the next slide there. Just what happens if you buy new all-time highs and you put a trailing stop on them? It works pretty well, right? Not all the time. This is going back to 1990, so there's a lot of years there of kind of sideways action. There's a couple pullback years, but most importantly, during the big bear markets, it did okay. During 2000 or the early 2000 with the tech bubble, 2008 with the great financial collapse, 2020, all of these times it did okay, just buying new all-time highs, and then putting out some sort of a trailing stop. In this case, it was an ATR trailing stop. So you just take how much the stock normally moves, and you just put a trailing stop on that. You can see, generally speaking, you outperform the market if you're just buying stocks that hit new all-time highs. So again, we don't need to make it complicated. What we need to do is look for what's already moving up, and if the market's going to bounce, the idea is that those names are probably going to bounce a little bit better. The best part about this is you see a lot of flat periods of time in the chart, and that's when there's no new all-time highs. During 2008, not a lot of new all-time highs to buy, right? So there's not a lot of trades going on, but I found a couple, so I wanted to take a look. So the next chart is just, again, it's TradingView. If you go into TradingView, there's just a little button on their scanner. You just search for all-time highs, and you just tick that, and it will only show you stocks that have made new all-time highs for that candle. Again, trying to make it very simple. If the market's going to bounce, these names are kind of interesting because they're already hitting a new high. The reason a new all-time high I think is so important is because you don't need to really do a sentiment check. Everyone who is short is wrong, and everyone who is long is right and making money. So therefore, happy with that and potentially not wanting to pay too much tax on that, they'll hold on to those positions. So also a good way just to find strength. You know, tick the new all-time high, do a scan, tick the new all-time low, do a scan, and try to get some sort of themes of what's going on here. So the first chart here that I want to talk about is eFun is the name of this. So we did a little trip around the world last week or a couple weeks ago, talking about how the rest of the world is doing okay. If you want to take a look at the UK, they're doing okay. A lot of the places in Europe are doing fine. So eFun is actually European financials. So I call it eFun. It's EUFN. And the idea is that that's what they do over there. They don't have a lot of technology companies in France and in Italy and all of these, more about big banks and financial institutions. And this is a weekly chart and a screaming breakout of a 10-plus year base here. So a little bit too overextended for me right now, but I am going to watch this. If we start to get some sort of a pullback on these European financials, I think this is going to be an interesting way to play it. So as opposed to needing to know which banks to look at in Europe for these names, this could be one way to look at it. If you're in Europe right now and you have your favorite bank, you probably know that European financials are doing fantastic, but we have a new all-time high there. So that would be interesting. That'd be one that would potentially go in that system that I posted above. Next one here is Kroger. So, you know, retail in the US. Nice breakout here. This is a daily chart, so it's a little bit more tactical. Look at that candle, especially on Friday. That big push up. That's a big engulfing candle breaking us out of a pretty significant high, a pretty tight range. I'm going to watch this one really closely to see if it can hold above 66 today with the market pulling back a little bit. If it can, I think that's an interesting play. A good thing to note that candle happened because of earnings. So whatever they're saying on earnings, it's probably not being affected as much by tariffs or whatever, but a new all-time high there. Next chart is McDonald's. So, wow, right? This is kind of considered a little bit of a flight to safety, I guess, right? If the economy is going to get bad, people are going to eat at McDonald's more or continue to eat at McDonald's. But no news really that I could see. But, you know, we're comparing this to that chart I showed to the SPY earlier that is kind of barely hanging on to support by a thread. These names are hitting new all-time highs. I don't think McDonald's will ever have a huge short float. But if you are short, you're most definitely losing money on it. If you're long, you're doing okay. Nice solid breakout of that 312 area. So the all-time high, I think, is like 317 on this. So if it can hold above that, again, interesting play. If the market bounces, the idea that these things might have nice little sustained trend. This last one I don't know too much about, but it's Checkpoint Software Technologies. And another nice, really solid consolidation around 225, and then a breakout, and then a 5-point move on Friday. Closed pretty much at the high of the day there. So again, watching this one, if we're going to pull back today on the market, if it can hold that 225 area, that's where I'm going to be interested to get in. If we close below it, it's time to go. But I just wanted to show you guys, again, a very basic way of doing it. Now, you can look for new month highs, new 6 months high, new 3 months high, all kinds of ways to do it. But when the market is selling, and I talk about this over and over again, and I'm sure I probably will as long as you guys have me on, the easiest thing to do during sell-offs is to look for things making new all-time highs. It means that they either have some fundamental catalyst that's pushing them higher, or it's just not where the institutions are selling when they're selling the market. And same thing, if you were looking to short and the market was screaming to new highs, you would look for stocks making new all-time lows. Those are probably going to be the best names to short. And again, just a little bit of a back test just to prove that over time, not all the time, but over time, buying new all-time highs seems to work out pretty well.
If you get a little bit more technical on that, looking at a daily time frame as you were there, or if you break it down even to a 60-minute or 15-minute, if you want to get even more granular, what do you want to see as far as follow through? What do you want to see as far as confirmation? Because we've all been in the situation where, yeah, okay, it breaks, you get a huge flush, stops going off, and a nice move through the high, but then it comes right back down and closes back below that, and all of a sudden you're sitting there out of the money. So what do you want to see as far as confirmation for that trade?
Well, that's a really good point that I meant to bring up, and I didn't, so thanks for that. This has a sub 50-50 win rate in that back test that looks amazing. I think it's 41%. So it means most of the time, that will happen. I mean, more times than not, you'll get a breakout and then you'll get a push back down. I think the main point of it is that because you're buying something in the direction of a trend, and a very strong trend, that when you're right, even though you're going to be right only 4 out of 10 trades, and you're going to be wrong 6 out of 10 trades, that it will end up working well. So I think it's one of those things that you have to go into a setup like this knowing that you're going to be wrong a lot. But when you nail one, and that's what the importance of putting on some sort of trailing stop as opposed to some sort of profit target, is because your hope is that you get something that's breaking a new all-time high and it turns into a Facebook or an Amazon or a NVIDIA or something like that. And now, for confirmation, I like to see, Charles Dow taught us a long time ago, the closing price is the most important price. So I think this is one of those things that if you were kind of an end-of-day trader like myself, you could scan near the end of the day and see if you're getting a daily close above that. If you want to get a little bit more granular with those shorter-term time frames, like a 15-minute, I think it's just momentum. You need to see that move. That's where things like tape reading come in handy as well. You want to see the buyer stepping up. You want to see momentum and buying pressure in the name pushing it higher so that you have some confirmation that people are coming in. So, but again, the beauty of these is that I think the average winner was 3 times the average loser. So you got to know, regardless of what you do, breakouts fail a lot. So you're going to be wrong a lot. But the hope is when you nail one, you really nail a good one.
And this is a tough trade in the sense that if the market remains weak and if the market is continuing to trend to the downside, you're essentially fighting the overall sentiment here and fighting the overall momentum of the market in trying to be long, even though the individual name is strong.
Yes. The kind of counter I would give to that, though, is that one thing that we notice is anytime we come into a drawdown, it's generally not the same thing that gets us out, right? If we remember, getting us out of 2020, it was Peloton and Zoom and all these pandemic names. And then when we got into the drawdown of 2022, 2023, it was AI that took us out. So if it's going to be a new theme that's going to take us out of it, that new theme is probably going to be hitting new all-time highs before the market starts. So it's kind of, the way I look at it is you're kind of fishing a little bit, right? You're putting them out there. You're buying these stocks as they're breaking new highs, knowing you're going to be wrong very often. And the hope is that if and when the market starts to turn, you end up getting a basket of kind of what happened. Like going through the back test, the last push up higher in the back test, that had names like NVIDIA and a lot of different semiconductors and all of this, not because the system knew anything about AI, it's just those were starting to make new highs before the market did. So that's kind of, it's like a fishing expedition to say, okay, what's going to bring us out of it this time?
Great stuff. Michael Noss back with us after the close tonight. We'll see you then, my friend. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Oh, man, here's hoping for a good day, that is for sure. Me and you were just talking about this. I feel like there's something wrong with my earpiece today. Michael just talked about how breakouts can be, really great and can also be a miss, right? And I think that we had one literally last week here with XLF. And I was just saying to Obi, like, if you like the spot, Michael just talked about sort of the financials there in Europe, how they were popping through. You're getting into levels right now where we talked about JP Morgan, and if you want to diversify a little bit outside of tech names, this isn't horrible down here. That's a really big flush in 1 week, man. 52 down to 48. So you're basically getting 10%, a little less than that in 1 week. I feel like once we can get back into here, And look, I mean, going back to October, I think this is reasonable. If you're not in anything, you can individually pick names for sure. Most of the banks are going to look like that false breakout, right? So we did have that huge top right there. Again, look at JP Morgan, man. 280 OB down to 237. Like, they're all looking the same, man. They're all really, really close to this 200 period moving average. We said that we would maybe look at, and when I said about avoiding individual names, it was more like right now the risk is in individual names, really not in indexes, because, depending on your risk tolerance and your age and what you're comfortable with, I just think JP Morgan is almost like an ETF on the bank anyways. I'm going to find out what its dividend yield is compared to the XLF, but this is the one I'd grab. Or you can have, I'm just talking about financials. Michael had talked about them. There's also BNP Paribas. We actually looked at that last week, BNP, over there on, I believe it's in London. As a trader, it could be French. That's a good look as well. But this is Goldman Sachs. It's actually at its 200 period. I thought we looked at this last week. So you get a move, right there. So this is a move that here on deal-making speculation, like if there's not going to be as many deals this year, Goldman Sachs was one of the ones set for winning on less regulation, potentially more deals. Oh, we did get, but last week we got Walgreens. Right, so we got Walgreens Boots Alliance going out at, I think it was about $11.50 or so.
$11.45.
Right, and then there was that rider that was there. Neil was talking about $3 or something. Yeah. So there was something about that, but we'll have to watch out for Walgreens Boots Alliance, of course. Volume off the chains on Friday on first day announcement, and then that it was a little wild early. I saw that you had that short.
Oh yeah. I was like a buyout doing momentum. I'm all about that.
So
and day one buyouts are, I think, great for that. I think that's a bit of a playbook.
Yeah, as you figure out price.
Because it's a
realization.
It's a bio. There's gonna be a lot of institutional involvement, and if things start to move with momentum, then I think buyout. Whenever that happens on a buyout, I think that can definitely provide with some good opportunity with the momentum being less volatile. Yeah. No real buyouts, but
maybe Elon should be buying out its more stock of Tesla and get that stock
maybe
going upside again. Disney. Oh, I did want to say I got a note from Chris Brecher and a couple people actually on Twitter that shorted Starbucks. I didn't short Starbucks, but they're like, great call. And Chris was just here on, I think it was two Thursdays ago, or it wasn't last Thursday, but or maybe it was. I can't remember. But we had talked about how this name just had hung up here a little bit, and we made fun of the barcode. And then just last week, we had broke down into the 50 period. We had just noticed how far away it was, and then I sort of played off some of the China rhetoric. Chinese names have been real hot, but Starbucks, again, if you are short, consider maybe covering if you can get into this 101, 102 area. I mean, that looks like that's where we could possibly bounce. And today only being down 1.09%, could get a little spicy here for Starbucks. So great call on that one for anybody that did short it. I was just commenting about how high up it was. I don't have any shorts in the portfolio right now. So, all right. Well, good talk there. We'll go on. We do have our watch list. I know we have the Trade Ideas scanner up there right now, but make sure you go grab our watch list. The link is in description. The QR code will pop up at some points, and we'll be running down that. It's how the sticky notes out. It's how we build our ideas. Lots of information on there. Big shout out to Adara. Like today, there was loaded with names, man. Hims and Hers is on there. The Palantir, DoorDash, AppLovin, names that were S&P 500 inclusions, and then ones that were disappointed. I have Robinhood on my watch today as well, as I was almost certain that name was going to get thrown in there, and it wasn't. So TKO, the WWE. Getting included into the S&P 500 there, Endeavor. So that's going to be a good one as well.
I think those will definitely be a little interesting. Again, a lot of people anticipating some of these names getting into the S&P, and a bit of a disappointment could pose for a bit of a trade here. I'm also watching, interestingly enough, Walmart. Some of these retail names here. You can see Walmart post earnings, strong flush. We had that earnings mid February there, February 20th, and since then we kind of sideways chop there. But as of last Friday, we finally broke down that low, and in the pre-market currently we're trading a little bit lower. You can see that strong relative volume coming in on Friday. On that breakdown, again, we're trading below 100 off of that earnings reaction. Yeah, bigger picture as well. Let's just go up to like a 3-hour chart here. You can see bigger picture. It's been kind of pulling back into some of these prior earnings anchored here as well. So we're trying to break this bit of a trend that we've been holding for what would seem a decent chunk of last year here on Walmart. So yeah, definitely some of these on watch. I'm going to pull up XLP as well to see how that's going, because I know Nike and Pepsi have been moving around as well. Again, we see that a lot of these tech names being sold off, but again, a good example from last week was we saw that there are other sectors that can still kind of catch a bid, and I think last week we saw some of that with the health sector and consumer staples a couple of weeks ago as well. So again, I think I'm going to be having a broader market perspective just to see where things are moving. And yeah, I really like something that Michael Noss said about what kind of theme is going to pull us out of this. Right. So I'm definitely going to be watching out for that. I'm kind of thinking a little bit more about that now after he's mentioned it. So thank you, Michael Noss, for inciting some of those ideas, thought provoking for sure. So I'll be watching out for what the next theme it is potentially, but trading below 20,000 now on the Nasdaq.
Yeah, we saw that break on Friday. That was nasty. Yeah. We have over 4,000 of you watching, but only 373 likes. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. You can't be part of our chat. So let's pump these numbers up, man. I mean, again, if you hit the like button, there is about a 50% chance you'll have some winning trades today. So I think you should definitely I mean, that's not bad.
That's a great chance.
Yeah. Wow, we just got 100+ likes there in just a couple seconds. So thank you so much for that. Let's just keep it going. Ross right here. So there you go. You can't, wow, 200 likes. Nice. Thank you, guys. About a 40% bump there. We like that. We'll get to this question. Redfin. Oh, is that, can you explain Redfin's being bought for $12.50? I didn't even realize that was happening. RDFN. So we have to get over to our watch list. So I will have a quick look at this. Is it being bought for $12.50? Because that doesn't make much sense if we're only at $9, $10. So this would be something, again, it does look like there is some buyout rumor there. Brenda or Adara, maybe if you guys know something about this, it might even be on our watch list and I missed it, but Redfin right now up to $68, sorry, up 68%. Yeah, I know it's volatile, but I don't know. Whenever you see a move like this, potentially the price is not certain or something.
It's an all-stock deal.
Oh, it's an all-stock deal. Yeah, okay, so good.
Yeah.
So we'll get more information on that, but thank you for the heads up there on RDFN.
Yeah, we'll dig into that a little bit this morning. If it's an all-stock deal, it's obviously going to be a little bit more volatile than if it's cash. I want to mention this real quick. $2 billion offering being filed, not yet put through, but filed by MicroStrategy once again. So get ready for another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin to be added to Mr. Saylor's stockpile down here to the tune of about 5% this morning for MSTR. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video and sign up for the watch list. Top link in the description will get you there. All you need is your email address, and then we'll just send that to you every single day for free. Conveniently, top of said watch list this morning is crypto. We'll touch on this move to the downside this morning. I mean, we can talk about this MicroStrategy move, Coinbase being mentioned as well on this S&P front as well. So a lot of different angles. Bitcoin at the end of the day, down.
Yeah, lots certainly on watch here in the crypto space. I think the fact that we had this executive order, which we know we've had a lot of industry people saying was a bit disappointing in terms of not what they were expected, that's going to be on watch. We had that event as well on Friday. So sometimes too, when we have a lot of interest in a topic like Bitcoin getting this interest now can lead to concerns about a top. Regardless of what necessarily is causing this, it's certainly worth watching this space. It's also worth noting two of the names that were highly anticipated to be added to the S&P 500 that weren't are two crypto adjacent names, Coinbase and Robinhood. So that's another potential catalyst for this space. Though, as you mentioned, these are not necessarily going to be maybe as market moving in a market that's been as volatile.
Yeah, I mean, typically it is. Typically it's one of those news catalysts that does move the stock. But with the overall sentiment the way it is right now, it appears it'll be a little bit different. We'll look at a few here. Sorry, did I say 2 billion? Obviously, I meant 21 billion at the market offering program for MSTR on for the shares, so they can obviously buy more Bitcoin. Sean.
Yeah, it's funny because as
Bit of
soon
a
as that
difference
story
there.
came through, me and you had the exact same comment. He said, Brendan goes, here we go. And I was like, here we go at the same time. Like, this is exactly what they're trying to do. And that is to raise cash, to go in there, use the stock, use the proceeds there, right? To go in and start to buy some more BTC, right? And I just feel like this guy's just too smart. Like, he's telling you what he's doing. This is the plan. Too smart. We have to wait for that. But, he's telling you exactly what the plan of action here. I'm going to call up a different chart so we don't get that drop down there on the split, of course. So here it is. So, MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor has told us that they're going in there, they're raising cash to go in and buy more Bitcoin. So if you don't like it, then stay away from the stock. That's basically it. This is a levered ETF. There's no doubt about that. When you can go out, and I don't know what the details of the raise were, but when you can go out and grab money from the public against your own stock and then just put it right back into Bitcoin. I mean, is that a strategy? It's a buy and hold strategy. I don't think there's any time that Michael's the corporation is planning on selling anything there. So I don't know. I would just say, hey, if you like Bitcoin, you got to like strategy. Yeah. So the strategy is quite simple on this one. And as we continue to go downside, remember, part of this 5%, although Brendan talked about that 21 billion, it's just the fact that it doesn't trade overnight, right? So Bitcoin, when we left you guys on Friday, I'm going to call up a different chart for Bitcoin. When we left you guys on Friday, crypto was, what, 88, something like that. So right now, as we zoom in here and see, this is on a daily chart right now. So yeah, it wasn't a great weekend, right? You dropped out, from 88, 89 down into 80, 82. So yeah, down $4,000 on 88. Makes sense. You're down here on MSTR. So I don't know, man. I mean, looking forward to it. I wrote down, we're going to talk about crypto right now. So the play that I have was IBIT. And I was just looking at 50 bucks even here. And I'm not trying to change the world or anything. It just, we closed, Michael Noss came in here and just said that closing prices tend to be pretty key. We closed IBIT at 50, but again, I'm not sure how much that really matters because we do have the over the weekend trading, right? It's not like where we closed on Friday means anything. But this is the 200 period moving average on the 5-minute chart. So I just wanted to play off that. If we did get a move up, then this is where I want to short. I don't necessarily want to short into here. Let's let it go back up to the upside. I do think that there's that wall that's down there at 78 to 80. So we'll see if it can hold. We haven't really tested down there. So that's just an idea that I've heard a lot of people looking to buy. And I mean, here's the... Let's call up the chart one more time just to show you what I'm talking about. Coming into here, so that's 80. We've only had it done basically 3 times. We're in there right now. That little drip down was 78 and change. I do think that there's going to be people waiting. This is sort of where I was thinking 72, 73 was the next area of possible support. So you basically just want to wait to see drip downs here into 80,000. Probably a buy zone, but I just don't know if we want to buy anything today there, Obi, and especially in the crypto space. And then when you're going to look over, talk of more ETFs. I mean, I don't see anything coming through anytime soon. But here's some of these other altcoins that we've been really looking at. Ripple's down to 220. That's pretty low. We haven't seen that in a minute. The last time you and I were on the show together, I think Dogecoin was 39 cents. Yeah, so right now it's 17 cents. Obi, oh boy, is right about that one. Same thing with Cardano. They got a high of about $1.15 on that random tweet 2 weekends ago from Trump saying all these different coins. Solana's down to 128. This is a house of cards that looks like it's missing a few in the deck right now. I just, maybe everybody's right about crypto, man. And that's what I've been trying to do. Sell some of these altcoins, get into the bigger name, and that's just been Bitcoin for me. But yeah, I last pushed the buy at 86. I actually didn't even push it. It was an order.
Yeah, I remember. I was here. And you
so
were like,
I meant to buy 87s. We got a little bit more there at 86. So right now, I'm waiting for a little bit lower here. And I think it's feeling more like a house of cards because we got that pass. We got the crypto.
The reserve.
Reserve.
Yeah.
Right?
That was big. That was big.
Yeah. And was it?
I mean, yeah, it's like, I think in terms of the crypto community, that's a piece of news that a lot of people have been anticipating and really waiting for many, many years now.
What did it did for the underlying, though?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It could be the ultimate sell the news event. I have no idea. Yeah. But again, that I didn't know, $21 billion offering there on strategy. Yeah, the strategy is not so micro anymore. It's not a micro strategy anymore. No. They literally changed their name. They're just strategy now. So, but yeah, a little bit of a pullback last week. We saw that flush. This here is a weekly chart. And again, this was important to me earlier on last year, where we broke out of this kind of consolidation, this flag through that 70 mark. You can see with that expanding volume on the weekly, we pushed up into that 100,000 off that 70,000 break, and finally taking a little bit of a pullback here after kind of double topping just shy of 110s. But yeah, Bitcoin on a little bit of a pullback. Again, looking at a lower time frame on the 3 hour, you can see that selling coming in a little bit better there, coming in at the end of February, so 25th. We got some strong selling coming in. But Coinbase definitely on watch for me today, because a bit of a double whammy with that Bitcoin coming right back down to that low that we made in the past couple of weeks, and Coin not getting added to the S&P 500 as well. So right here, you can see I already have my alert in for prior week low at that 193.08. So if Coinbase can get below this level, and if sellers show some sort of dominance, whether that's at VWAP, whether that's below opening range low, whatever it is, if one way or another the sellers kind of continue in this name and Bitcoin continues to sell off, then I'm going to be watching Coinbase today for sure. Hood, not as much. I do have it on watch, but again, not as much in relation to crypto, but more in relation to not being added to the S&P 500. So two tickers definitely on watch, Hood and Coin on that crypto news, but it should be an interesting year with that Bitcoin reserve coming through.
All right, we'll talk tech this morning. Right across the board continues to lead the overall market to the downside. A couple of individual notes, the DOJ reigniting, I guess the best way to say that, the talk about Google having to divest Chrome specifically and sell the browser off. So that's Google this morning getting hit here pretty hard, down to 169. I mean, right across the board, we're under pressure again here for the NASDAQ.
It's certainly a pretty, for lack of better terms, it's been a couple of weeks for the NASDAQ, 3 straight weeks to the downside for the Qs. And I think it's also worth noting, I've seen some of this as well attributed to comments that Donald Trump made in an interview over the weekend with regards to recession. When asked if he thinks a recession is possible, he says that he hates to predict these things, but he did not rule it out in his answer. So I think that is leading to some concern as well. There's also ongoing tariff concerns, lots of comments still coming out of Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, which have some people concerned as well, because it really does seem like these could continue to go up and change as needed.
I mean, Google hasn't really bounced here. We're trying to hug 169, guys, but pretty ugly looking start here for Alphabet.
Yeah, down to the trend low.
Is it like at XYZ yet, though? Like the Alphabet? Like, are we that low yet? I mean, or are we more like in the S and the T section here?
Blocked.
Oh, that's a good one. I see what you did there. I don't know why Block changed their name to XYZ.
I get it.
Why?
I get it. Because
I haven't really thought about it. Oh.
Axes.
XYZ.
It's like,
Block.
all 3 axes.
It was square, then it was block.
Next they're going to be cubed.
Because they couldn't use BLK, BlackRock.
Yeah.
All right, so disappointing, man, for Google. I mean, I'm obviously a shareholder right here. I mean, we could talk about the whole tech sell-off. I wrote down the TQs looking to short it almost right off the jump. So we'll wait to see where that goes. I'll talk about the TQs and the futures. I think that'll be definitely a play that we're in here. But yeah, again, looking over our watch list here, actually I'll pop it out just to give you guys a quick little look. I'm really proud about the watch list, to be honest with you. But just give me a second here. I don't want to. If I go read, you can actually even read this thing online as well. So here it is right here, our watch list. And again, talks about pre-market trading, the earnings today. Here's some crypto news. Now we're talking about some tech news as well. But here's the news on Alphabet. The DOJ dropped its proposal. So there's a few different notes coming and going right here, right? But there's still some big stuff happening. The Chrome browser now apparently an issue. So, okay, look, down 3% is not good. The movement's still coming. We're at lows right now. I feel like you want to play VWAP, that's 170. It just happens to be that 170 is going to be a key price. So I like that short, even though we're at 169 right now. We hit a great long in Google on Friday, and it got all the way back to 175. This is the disappointing thing for me, because it looked like we were starting to maybe find bottoms in this name, at least, as we had 4 straight up days. I mean, we just talked about how nasty the market was all last week, but it was great for Google. I thought it found a bottom, and then today, boom, right back down in. So although I do want to be short today, that's for sure, I'm thinking that maybe that bottom was in. I mean, some of these wicks were exactly what they were, bottom wicked out. You know, maybe we can get a long on a flush into 166 and change here today. So for me, I don't want to go short a name that's much shorter than the market here today in case we're wrong on any kind of flush. But at the end of the day, I wrote down here on this sticky note, Tesla, which we'll get to. I think that's going to be a big short for me. And then I wrote down 66 here. Again, it's where on the 50-period moving, on the 5-minute chart, we have the 50-period moving average lined up here with the 200. I like 66. It was a spot right here. That's 66.50, which was the top. Ooh, Big Bear AI getting a contract in some sort. We'll check them out in just a second, hearing that in my ear. But anyway, 66.50 looked like a pretty key level there in the afternoon on Friday. So I'm going to try to start shorting at 66, using 66.50 as a top. It's okay, BBAI shares we're hearing is popping just a little bit. Okay,
yeah, they're moving. Not
enough. Big Bear AI popping up to 330 right there. We'll get that information for you. But right now we're just talking a little bit about big tech names. So yeah, I'm going to be shorting the Qs. The order's already in, up there near 66 bucks. We'll play it against 66.50. Hopefully we have enough shares at the right prices this time and we don't get too excited. I know it's still $2 higher than this right now, but I like the Qs short about $1.50 from here at 65.80 or so. So we're going to start that short right there and hope that Big Bear AI news really rallies the stock up to $5.
Yeah, no, Google.
Maybe not.
I think Google's at a very interesting area here, Sean. You can see that we've been trending pretty strong since 2023, and again, this is going to be a lot of lines on the chart, but there's one trend line that I do want to focus on, and that's this one right here. So we'll take that one, we'll make it a little bit bolder. There you can see that Google is coming in to test a 2-year trend, right? So this is kind of a base. We pull back, kind of holding these levels here, and then we're coming right back into some of those. And last week's low, 166.77. So that's just in and around here. I know we can't really see it with some of these lines going straight down, but you guys get the gist. In a bit of an area where Google has shown support for the past 2 years. So yeah, Sean, maybe definitely a bit of a long here if we can hold prior week's low right here. So kind of a similar story on a few other tickers as well. If we can hold prior week's low being at 165.80, so about roughly 3 points lower than where we're trading at right now in the pre-market, 169.07s. I'm going to be watching that. But let's see if this multi-year trend support continues to hold, or does this trend support on Google turn into some resistance? I'm definitely going to be watching that as a bit of a direction. Even if I don't take it, I think I'm definitely going to be using it as some sort of an indicator at the very least.
Yes. Could call it Google.
All right, let's continue here. Palantir down, I mean, it was 4%, bit of a bounce right now, 3.7. End of the day, we're still kind of stuck within the range of Friday's overall move. This was kind of an interesting headline this morning, teaming up with this Voyager company. Essentially, they're going to use Palantir's platform and AI to prevent space collisions, because it's getting to a point where there's so much stuff up there that they need to monitor this and prevent things from running into each other. So that's kind of cool. But there's also the S&P 100 mentioned here for Palantir.
Yes, Palantir will be being added here to the S&P 100 as of March 24th, along with all the changes to the S&P 500, 400, 600. So that's pretty huge for the stock, though. It's not really moving it pre-market very much. The other thing though too is this weekly chart for Palantir. We've had 3 weeks of sell-off with volume, but interestingly enough, closing around the same level for the last 2 weeks. We'll have to see if we could hold this support for PLTR around that $85 level. Pretty interesting stuff though on this stock. I think regardless, Dan Ives of Wedbush still says this is top stock for him. We know he's very bullish in the tech space. That has not changed despite the sell-off for tech as a whole and also for Palantir specifically.
Yeah, holding higher here. What do we think here, guys, for PLTR?
Dan Ives, I'm feeling you. Yeah, that was was my top pick for the year. It's still doing okay on the year. And today I wrote down 78 to 79 long area on the S&P 100 inclusion. Flush if when it flushes, we buy. So flush, we buy. Right there on Palantir. I'm already bidding $79. So. We've seen Palantir get real aggressive, man, right off the jump many, many times, including on Friday, where we just ripped from 79, which is where we're trying to buy today, all the way to $85. So, like, you just went up 6% in 15, 20 minutes on Friday before falling all the way back into 79 again, then ripping that 6%. So what, up 6%, down 6%, up 8%? Like, I don't know, up to $85. Obviously, it's going to be a very disappointing morning, as many traders thought there could have been a continuation there, right? We did have a problem at 85. I would think that would be a good short if we get back up there. But if Palantir can get to 85, then I don't think I want to play short. I mean, that would mean that the market should be rallying, and we probably flip that rhetoric on its head and possibly even go long up there through 85. But that's something that we'll wait for, and I'm not sure we get there, especially if I think the market's going to flush. So for me, it's real simple, man. We just wrote it down. You just saw the sticky note. I'm already bidding down there at $79. I don't really think I can find a better area long with many names that can give us the return that we're looking for. It's just like, that very bottom is 78.50, which is why I'm saying area long between 79 and 78. I still am pretty bearish heading into the open right now. All my orders are out. The Tesla short is out. We're waiting for that. The Robinhood short is out. The futures short is out. And the Palantir bid is down here at that bottom. So, Obi, if we're lucky enough to get it, great. But at the end of the day, what a great trading vehicle Palantir is. And if we're going to trade this like earnings, you're right at VWAP, and there's the 200 period. So an early short in and around 82.50. But you do that, man, you won't find me in that trade, because I think it has a really good chance of going, one way pretty hard. Just a quick look at the imbalances. Big Bear AI, let's go. I mean, we're not dropping down too much money. We traded this on Friday, and this was one of the highs on Friday there. Remember, they did have earnings, so we were long down into here, and this is why I remember the level. This is where we were actually wound up positive on Big Bear on Friday, but it was virtually a flat trade. It didn't really get going. So maybe today, on the news of a new contract, on the news of earnings and some of the relief rally posts, there it goes again. So there it is. So I'm just hearing it. Yeah, Big Bear AI on the contract news. I know we want to get to Palantir, but this is something that's pretty similar. This is why I don't actually have it on here, but we'll get that news for you from Benzinga anyways in a minute. So maybe it just needs to be confirmed. But there it goes, Big Bear AI doing relative volume now, up forward a bit. Again, another AI data-driven name, so I think it does match pretty well with Palantir. But Obi, yes, that's my look on Palantir. Yeah. I don't know if you're looking to go short on this name or what, but for me, Palantir right now is a bid if we can get into 79.
Honestly, I agree with you with that 79, because just looking at the chart, that's that level that stands out right away. A bit of a range hold here over the past week or so. Here on Palantir, you can see that 79 coming in multiple times there. Okay, so we got the news.
$13 million contract.
3.5 year, 13.2 mil. Modernized critical Department of Defense Force management platform.
Okay, so the thing about it is, I know that I just kind of like mocked that 13.2 million, but their a full year is only 140, I believe, to 160 in revenues anyways. So that's,
so that's pretty significant.
Yeah, so 13 adding on to that, maybe a 7 or 8% there. So that's nice to get that kind of a contract. So, okay. So we both agree with Palantir. Let's go figure out, I think we maybe both agree with the downside here for Tesla, but let's go find out some levels, and let's go find out the story.
Yeah, UBS this morning throwing more fuel on the fire here for Tesla, down 4%, coming right into this low from Friday right now. $225, UBS saying, for Tesla shares. pointing specifically to Model 3 and Model Y declining demand, and they came up with that conclusion based on shorter delivery times and stockpiles piling up all around the globe. So Tesla continuing to slide.
It's worth noting, too, they already had accelerating, but it was reiterated, as mentioned earlier, 259 to 225 for the price target. They also said the Q4 2024 delivery results, which we know were really disappointing, with Tesla's first year-over-year decline in deliveries. Regardless, these results forced UBS to actually lower their Q1 2025 delivery forecast, which will come out in about a month. Those deliveries, they initially were looking for 437,000 deliveries for this quarter. Now they're looking for 367,000. That's quite the decline, of course, influenced by a variety of factors, but we'll have to wait and see what happens when Tesla gives us these numbers, likely in early April.
Yeah, about to make a new low here right now. Not a heck of a lot of volume behind this, but sliding, guys, once again for Tesla.
All right, so kind of the same play. Well, now Palantir is getting going here up to $82. I don't know what's going on there, but all right, just real quickly here for Tesla. Look, I bought this thing north of 300 like a couple weeks ago, or maybe even less than that. It's been really bad, man. We got 5 straight down weeks now for Tesla. The stock just looks like horrible. Like this looks like AMD or something. Like maybe even worse, obviously. As that recent high, I have no idea the next time we're ever going to get to 480. But wow, it's down half now. You know, like 250, that high there, 514, I guess, in some sort of a pre-market. But at the end of the day, 480 down to 250. This stock has been absolutely like and I'm a Tesla shareholder, we have to be pretty disappointed with Elon and what's been happening right now. Obviously, I don't know if it's his fault or not. He's trying to help out his party and the government and do Doge and all that, but it's definitely not helping the reputation. It's definitely not helping everybody on the left. I mean, we see people, Neil talked about vandalism and stuff like that at different factories for Tesla and cars and all that kind of stuff. And right now, I think it's all obviously way overblown. But as a trader, we have to do the right thing. And I just was looking at this level right here. We kept on holding 258, 259 before popping back up. Obviously, the way Tesla will move off the open is interesting. We had a similar move to Palantir on Friday, where we started the day at 258, went all the way to 265, and then down $13 in a straight line from there. Look, I think if you're going to short anything today, it's going to be Tesla. Again, downgraded there at UBS. I have it written down on the sticky note as a short. It's my number one idea, 258 to 260. Downgrade, feels like a flush coming. 5 straight down weeks, and it was minus 3.5%. Well, now you're down 4.5%. So you're starting to get nasty on Tesla. I don't, looking at the daily chart there, that's 250, or sorry, the minute chart, that's 251. It looks like we're going to break below that. I don't want to, pardon the pun, but I don't want to put the foot on the gas like right here early, because we could get that pop up. Like I said, on Friday, I feel horrible because I'm invested in this name. But like on Friday, we popped huge off the open before figuring itself out and then whooshing back down. I feel like the buyers will come in again at some point and try to buy this thing up. But at the end of the day, there's no good news around this story. So around this stock, we need a good story here, Obi. I don't know if robo-taxis is it or not. But at the end of the day, Model Y is still the most sold car vehicle in the world, and that was as of last year. So the numbers just came out. Corolla was number 2, and then RAV4 number 3. So 2 Toyota products, but at the end of the day, look at Tesla, man. It is really cranking lower here. I know we have to go and we'll hurry up, but I just wanted to show you the imbalances real quick. So they just came out. What's Big Bear doing? Okay, so Big Bear near highs 350. There's NVIDIA comes out a buy and not doing much. Tesla here with a sell. So it's getting worse, man, for this company. We'll wait to see what happens off the open. We did put out a tweet earlier asking what people are trading. Some Apple love there as well, as that's below 236 again and getting lower. Baba with a sell finally. I say that just tongue-in-cheek because it's been really strong. And you nailed Walmart, dude. We had Costco down last week, down 6% on Friday. Walmart today says, we're joining that party too, as they break that 92 earnings bottom right there. So that's nasty. Here goes Walmart, man. Get ready. You know what, man? Buckle up for Walmart, actually. Wow, this is at a breaking spot, boy, right down into here. What is that, $89 for Walmart? See you later, Southside, for WMT. All right, we might not get to DoorDash or anything, but what do you think about Tesla, quickly?
I think the biggest thing on Tesla is looking at the weekly chart right here. Again, mentioned this a little bit earlier. After we broke down that 400, after we failed to follow through into more fresh all-time highs, the expanding volume as we sell off. So that's something that I'm watching as well. So yeah. 250 on Tesla, a lot of room to go to the downside if sellers kind of continue to persist as they have for weeks on end. So yeah, I'm going to look for that continuation. 250 over under for me.
All right, my mechanic is checking on the tire situation,
Ooh, okay.
so I had to message him back right there. You know, rather give some local guy some business. You know,
of course, yeah.
If he can grab me some tires there, that's great. And I actually needed to replace the tread on all of them. I actually did the rotation, and the weak ones are in the back right now, but we're coming through, obviously. I'm hoping, knock on wood, for no more crazy snow to have to worry too much
Weather's getting much better.
About tires right now. It's supposed to be 10 degrees today, Celsius, which is looking at, yeah, that's like 60
double
degrees,
digits.
maybe a little bit more than that. All right, 30, finally. Maybe that's where Sharif is playing volleyball on the sand. No, he's not. He's not feeling well. Oh, we want to say get well to Sharif. We want to say happy vacation week to Neil. So Obi will be in all week, so we want to thank you for that as well, Obi. Of course, all right.
Except for Thursday, Friday.
You're not here Thursday, Friday?
No. We can talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Well, neither am I. Haha. Okay, so the countdown is now on. No, I should be here. What's up, Adara? Right here. Okay, so we're getting ready to rock and roll today with only 6-5. Adara, how's your morning going? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, 2 and 1. Here we go. Obi, man, you're not here Thursday, Friday. Does that mean I got Joe over here coming through? This should be exciting.
Perhaps.
All right, well, let's get ready to rock and roll. And that's one of the best things about Trader TV Live. All different traders, different styles, different attitudes, different this, different that. I'm sorry you're stuck with me this week. Okay, so here we go, man. We didn't even get to Robinhood. Robinhood right now, downside. What about when Robinhood breaks $50? Are we robbing the poor, giving to the rich, or what right now? Because a lot of rich people got even richer when we were up here at 65. And now some of that money bleeding out as, again, down 9%. I told Obi the story that I was almost ready to hit the buy button on Friday, thinking it was going to get accepted as one of those S&P 500 plays. But, of course, we didn't get to it. DoorDash, TKO, and something else. Where's it there? Remind me what it was. But okay.
I think Hims was on there?
Hims, right. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, man. See, I can't.
Sorry, yeah, Williams Sonoma.
Williams Sonoma,
and
yeah.
EXE is the other one.
In the S&P 500, I wouldn't think not right now. Okay, so NVIDIA, nice move up for NVIDIA. As here we go, man. Yeah, let's do the oh my God. NVIDIA up to $11. The market not doing anything, but NVIDIA going for a ride. So this could be something to watch out for as well. Let's check out our good friend Palantir. How low did we go? We got to $81 right there on Palantir. So we'll wait to see if there's anything popping right now. I'm looking around. I'm not really seeing too much action here. But I do agree with you guys. I think Robinhood looks great at $35 for Robinhood. I'm not getting any feels right now about anything. What's the market doing here quickly? I don't know, Obi, you're not in anything yet.
Not yet.
I think patience, and I think that's fine. Patience is going to be key right here. The market's not doing anything. A flat open so far. So let's try to stick with what we've been doing. BBAI might be the one for me. Oh, wow. Okay. We are all over this on Friday on earnings, but today at 13.5, if we can throw that headline up again, I don't know, but $13.5 million contract hitting Big Bear AI this morning. So, yeah, let's get ready to rock and roll, man. I think Big Bear AI, a good entry, maybe here at 335. We're also hearing Super Micro right now starting to go upside. So 39 and change for SMCI. Wow, they are coming in and buying these tech names, these chip names, here today early. So I go to the worst one and think about fading that. That, of course, is Advanced Micro Devices. So, yes. So the one that's not ripping is where we need to look. What about a short here for AMD? I don't mind this $99 short. I'm going to start it right here. AMD, a little bit of a short. Was that I heard a Dara call, but I didn't hear it in my ear yet. So we'll wait for that. Anything you're looking at here, Obi?
Yeah, I'm looking at Hood and Intel as well. We were talking about that Google as well. So Google is now trading at 166. So we did break that low. Hood absolutely getting rocked to the downside here. A little volatile. Again, I'm going to wait a little bit longer to kind of participate a little bit more in this one there. That bid did come in aggressively, and we're holding that $40 level as of right now. Let me just pull it up for you guys here on this level too. as well. It trades on the NASDAQ. Here we go, breaking through that $40 level currently. Let's see how far it breaks. Let's see if sellers sustain if we get below 40. So as soon as it broke $40, you can see a little bit of a rebid, kind of a chop, not expecting it to be totally clean. There comes them selling on Intel as the market continues a little bit lower, 19,800 on the NASDAQ as of right now. Robinhood is trading at that $40 level. No real distinct kind of continuation through that 40 just yet, but it seems like it's coming in right here with sellers starting to step back into the book here. A bit of a buyer here. Look at that size coming in the 80s. Yeah, the futures are absolutely tanking. So getting that continuation at the beginning of the week.
You need coffee?
I'm good with the coffee, Sean. But again, we were looking for that confirmation to see if sellers are continuing to come into this market. So with the limited information that I'm seeing so far, it's only been about 4 minutes since the open. Yeah. There's a little bit of selling. Let's see if that continues. I want to see a sustained hold below 40 to kind of get involved. Maybe a retest of that VWAP as well, dude. if we do kind of push back into 40. But yeah, a lot of this market is selling off aggressively. Apple to the downside, Tesla to the downside, below 240.
We messed that up.
Sorry, below 250. It's trading at 247s right now.
All right.
On Tesla.
We're pretty good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy is right. We're pretty good here right now, Obi, with our AMD trade. That's the only one that we have on board right now. We got an oh boy reload right there. I don't, like, this name is actually going to the upside. So our stop is 99.20. If it breaks through the pre-market high, we are out of this one. We've picked the wrong one, man. The market is absolutely tanking, and Tesla. Our top two names were Q's short, Tesla short, and Robinhood short. So there's Tesla. Tesla is absolutely failing hard off that 250, man. No green candles at all right now. We're short the chip name AMD. That's going to be wrong. Like, I don't know why that name is doing that. Where is the bottom though for Tesla? We had been in here before, no? Nah, not really. So that bottom wick, I don't even really want to get too fancy here because that's 230, 240. Let's play pops to fade on Tesla. That's going to be for me the right play. There it is, man. We are almost stopped out of AMD. Like, chip names really super hot right now. We are going to get stopped out in a 99.20 break. So there it goes. We'll slap a fail on it early. Like, not much damage done there, but the tech name ripping. So we got to watch out here for chip names. And on that note, I don't want to get too carried away. I don't want to necessarily just get right into NVIDIA there. You know what? All right, one more try right here because we've done this before on AMD. We got stopped out there. I'm not going to get stopped out again too much higher than that high. We just don't want to pick the tops every time and then all of a sudden it fades out. Because if I'm looking at something, there is a chance that that's what a lot of traders are looking at. So right here, we're going to give this 20 cents upside right now. If it takes out that recent high, then we are gone from this one and just hang it up on the chip names and go, that's fine. And we're fine with that. We're not putting out much risk. We had definitely saw, wow, okay. We had definitely seen what we need to from the chip names. They're ripping as the market is doing the other way around. And it might just be AMD. Did I miss a story on AMD here or something? All right, Palantir coming right in, man. So this is coming into our levels. So I feel pretty good about thinking about that short. I'm going to give AMD a little bit more room and just be stubborn with it one more time. Okay, so you're in. Oh, love that Robinhood play, man. I really hope it's tanking for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
against $40.
Starting to work. We tried to push back above 40. We're still kind of chopping, doing a bit of a chop and churn around that area. VWAP's all the way at 40, 65s. I'm aware of that. So again, willing to try this a couple of times here, but let's see if we sustain some selling below that 40. Markets catching a little bit of a slowdown here, a bit of a bid coming in at that 19.8 level. So let's see if that sustains at all. Intel coming back into the downside as well, kind of pulling back off of that 2050, kind of rejecting that pre-market high as well.
Thank you, Randy.
But yeah, with the market tailwind, let's see if we get some more with that market tailwind. Here's that Palantir alert at 79. So you were talking about that one a little bit earlier.
Dude.
So
I don't have a choice.
Okay? So let me pull that one up there. So Palantir, I do like that idea, but the aggressive sellers.
Wow, dude.
Into that level. Also.
Yeah, I'm in it. You've got the short. You're the right way here.
I'm in Hood though, not on Palantir.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you got the right short. I mean, what is Robinhood at right now? 39.
It's still at 40.
Oh, still at 40. Okay, so not too much action off of it. Okay. So quickly, guys, like here's Palantir. We wrote down 78, 79. So we're long here at 79. We didn't really write down a bottom because honestly, Wasn't really sure that Palantir would be down 7 or 8% right now. But let's just do that quick little look. And we've already done this before. We can't hold through this, man. I'm not, and nor, well, we could, but I'm not going to. 78.50 bottom. If this breaks through 78, we're gone. So here we go on Palantir. It's a nice move back to the high side. So at least we might have nailed something here. We'll buy some more at 38s if we can. Right now, here it is, man. Here's a 60-cent winner. Let's take out 10%. There it is. Yes, sir. So that's a good one, man. We'll spend a little bit of money, making a little bit back. We did throw up all over ourselves on AMD. We talked about that. But at least we were patient enough right now to wait for our fill. We wrote down 79. We talked about 79. 79's here, so that's the fill that we have. We could have had a little bit lower. Here we go, man. Okay, Obi, we are now back into the joyous action of trading as Palantir does go back up. Again, we disobeyed our rules. We didn't have anything written down for AMD. Yet it's the first position I'm in. So that's a little bit of a misstep for me. Let's see if Palantir can still work. I had written down Robinhood at 43. It looks like you're okay with where you're at. Let's just check out Tesla. Here's Palantir fading a little bit, right? So we got a little bit out there at 60. Tesla's still making moves lower. So, oh man, 249. Maybe if we do pop up, but right now we're trying to play the long as we do have PLTR. Dara, give it to us.
Just be aware here, small cap and watch Trevi Therapeutics, TRVI. This is about a 9% short float, getting an upgrade to a strong buy and a $29 price target from Raymond James after announcing positive results for one of the trials of its treatments. Worth noting here, TRVI with a $29 price target, trading around $7.30 right now, guys. Also, Sean, I looked into AMD, no catalyst I could find. Back to you.
It's ever just ripping my face off, goes AMD. That's okay, hit it. All right, so Palantir off the posted level now. Obi, we just got 80s.
Yes.
So we'll put $1 on the board there for Palantir and see what happens. I think Adara's mic is still on, if you're going to ask me what my opinion would be on that. Okay, so I don't know, dude. Apple also getting getting killed down to 231. I mean, this name does not find a bid either yet today. What about shorting Apple through that low right here, 231.35? I'm gonna go short on Apple. I know this might be, too low right now.
There's an aggressive bid coming in.
You think there's an aggressive bid?
No, in the market.
In the market, yeah. But I do want to fade this Apple play. So let me do that here against 233 for Apple. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's up to 231, 232 right now. We're going to put on a little bit of a fade here if we can. So there we go. We'll play 54s right now. We are waiting in the 60s, but we got missed there. Palantir's still going. That's about 70 cents. Let's see what we could do with Apple. If Apple breaks out through 233, then we're going to get out. We're here to put on some risk, right? I mean, we've really worked out with some of our trading recently, so we're going to be here for that. All right, more Palantir, more love, man. Palantir up to 80. We'll put that. Oops, too many shares. Cancel. Okay, I didn't want to get over them all there. I almost put out a max position out. All right, so more outs there at 80. There it goes. Yes, sir. Wow. Yes. Palantir starting to go. Well, props up on that one right now. So PLTR, good move off of our $79 level. Obi, I can't.
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of problems, and one of them is trading things, getting too excited, not really following the rules. We wrote down Palantir at 79. It's absolutely the only one that triggered, so it should be the only one that we're in, but we've already lost a little bit there on advanced micro devices. And then we'll wait for Apple to get to 233, okay? So maybe 230, 250 or so, my next little short here for Apple. Again, you don't want to be too early, because if you're wrong, it's run over time. So be ready with that. All right, here comes Apple right back in. We'll take 5% down here. Then we'll take 5% a little bit lower. Let's go Apple. Yes, sir. Bang. What a good trade there for Apple. We'll hit a little bit of action there. Out of Palantir as well. Obi, we've made back almost all of our AMD now. 55 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents. It's $1 now on Apple as that's getting down and dirty now. Breaking through 231. So let's see what winds up happening now with Apple. Apple short, Palantir long. Palantir's now $1.50 in the money, by the way, but coming right up to VWAP, so we're going to start to empty out some more of this trade. We still have on 2/3.
Oh, nice. I'm just going to talk about this hood right after we get back from Madeira.
Oh, I did not have a throw.
Oh, sorry. I heard Fabian in my ear like a minute ago. Okay, so hood got stopped out of that one. 40 bid came right back in. So as it broke that quarter back above, I'm like, all right. Well, if we break the quarter, then in my opinion, probability of VWAP kind of runs up, and I will reassess around there. And guess what? we're trading past that VWAP mark right now. Opening price was 40.92s. We're trading 40.90s right now, so 41s right here on Robinhood. So catching a bit of a bid alongside the rest of the market there. I was like, oh boy, a bit of an aggressive bid coming in as the spider wipes up and attempts to push past this opening range high here on the 15-minute. Kind of a similar story maybe potentially happening here on the NASDAQ as well. Let's see if that can get back above its highs there. But yeah, strong bid coming in on a lot of these chips. I'm seeing AMD back above 100. SMCI not as much here, but yeah, no, NVIDIA definitely catching a little bit of a bid into some of those pre-market levels here. Pre-market consolidation highs were in and around what 111s. So yeah, I kind of I'm going to be a little bit patient for that one to see where that goes. Google's also catching a little bit of a bid. We kind of talk about Google being in an area that is a potential trend support, and you can see this trend support has been holding for a couple of years on Google. So again, we did kind of break that a little bit, but if we're just going to false break that support and bid back in, I do have to kind of keep that in mind. So the question becomes, is the NASDAQ going to be able to hold this 19.8 going forward for the rest of the day here? Hood catching a little bit of a pullback here. Pre-market highs right here before the open were in 41.60s. So we didn't quite get back up there. We're trading just in and around 41. Buyers came in at that $40 level. We didn't quite break below as aggressively as I was looking for there. I think the trade might have been a little bit earlier there, coming in the pre-market just before the open. That selling kind of coming into Robinhood here. Oh boy, Apple continuing.
Yeah, man, we're about 250 in the money in total positions right now. Apple continues to bleed for us, so let's go, man. Hit the subs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, please do it. Hit this. All right, man, we're covering some more down here at 231, though. I mean, despite the market making this move higher, it is making me a little bit nervous that we do have Apple short with the market going up, but Apple's not going up. So what happens when the market goes down is really the question there, a little rhetorical question. All right, so like, for everybody watching, please hit the darn like button. Look what we wrote down for Palantir, 78 to 79, area long right there. We talked about it, we charted it, we looked at it. There's a flush, we buy. It's really that simple. This is absolutely for free. Join over 50,000 of you following right now. There's Palantir. If flush, Obi, we buy. And there it is. It's $2 now in the money as Apple. And again, we just went over, like, screw you, NVIDIA, AMD, honestly. Able to get out of it. But look at this. AMD on no catalyst, apparently. Yeah. Ripping right there back up to the upside. So we shorted it. Again, we made money on this name last week doing this exact thing. And unfortunately, today, it just does not pan out for us. So let's just stick with the rhetoric of what we've been doing. If there's anything that anybody wants us to look at, we of course will. As Obi's right now a little flat, looking for some more opportunities as well. Big Bear AI stops completely at 350. We talked about that last week when I was in it last week, and we were in it this day on earnings. Nice little flush in. We had a hard time getting past 350 last week. So on new contract news valued at 13 million, doesn't seem like it's moving too much. I'm going to get it out one more piece up here on Palantir at 88s. Just because we're at VWAP right now. We do want to hold for that bigger play, right? I mean, if there's a possibility, but how much bigger okay, I'm going to get out another piece right now. Like, how much bigger do we actually need? That was a nice $2 move in a short market. We'll take it, especially with the fact that Apple is now flushing pretty good back in as well. Whoa. All right, okay.
Market's coming in.
Wow, now we're $1 on this one as well. Joe getting ready for the club, as I can see over there. But this is a nice move to the downside again. Apple really flushing, man. And again, what did we want to do? We were going short against 233. So we don't have a full position. We were expecting this move higher. Oh boy, man. Now we've got back-to-back jacks, man. We've got that dollar club on both of these names right now. Apple is really, like, really flushing in right there. So good trading there. Make sure you do follow us all on socials. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. Just checking in real quickly. Normally we have a lot of viewers at this time. I know it's March break around here, spring break in Canada. 1.4K likes. Thank you so much. But 10,000 of you are watching. Let's go, man. We're putting up some numbers here. So we're expecting you guys hit the like and to subscribe if you can. Bitcoin not doing anything. 82.3 right now, but the market be falling a little bit here off of, again, some some nice levels. We wrote down the TQQ $66 Obi, and didn't get there, but it did get to VWAP. So we should have maybe looked at that. But market be falling, Palantir coming back in. It's Apple that's really getting to the downside, man. Apple wants the 200-day, says Mr. Westermeyer. That's at 227 and change. So we'll wait to see if that comes through. I mean, hey, I'd love to see a 227 today. I may buy some in the long-term account. So, all right, that's what I'm looking at. The other notes that we had on here, of course, I don't want to step on your toes because you're in Robinhood right now. But again, a trade that I really like. Yeah, you're probably short up here near 41. Yes, you are. So, yeah, good little look there. That was another call on the short side for the disinclusion into the S&P 500, as many traders were hoping for that one. So I really do like that trade. It'll be good call back there near 41.
I took a piece on Tesla here. We talk about that 250 bit of an over under for me. So let's see if this one works out. As again, we break that opening range low on the 15-minute chart on Tesla. Let's see if it can come into some of those lower 240s here. Again, selling continuing on this name. We broke that prior week low as well on Tesla, 245 and some change trading right now. And Robinhood came back into that $40 level. So yeah, like I said, I was looking for potential sellers to come back in. I was a little late off of the open, kind of chasing this low through the 40. I was like, all right, will this kind of continue right away? And it really doesn't. It comes back into 41, false breaks at 41. And then we talk about that opening price. Opening price was at 40.95, just below that 41. And we can't really hold that either after attempting to push through that 41. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take another stab at this one here. Let's see if that one can finally crack through that opening range low, or do we make higher lows here? Again, a bigger picture kind of sentiment, maybe potentially being that Robinhood was poised for a potential add into the S&P, and we didn't really get that. So a little bit of disappointment. They're looking for price action to kind of maybe reflect that sentiment here. So let's see if that $40 holds or not, or do we just chop around here? But sellers coming in back below that opening price. I do like that a little bit here. Intel still kind of chilling, not really doing too much, consolidating above its VWAP currently, and Tesla still chopping around this 246, 247 as of right now. Can we get back up to 250? I have no idea. We broke that opening range low on the day. Let me pull up the chart here as well to kind of take a look. So you can see right here. So kind of a consolidation. Let's see if we make it a little bit of a leg lower. We were talking about that prior week level, that 250. Kind of missed that 250. That came in really aggressively right off of the open there. Cracks that 250. Doesn't really look back here. Where is VWAP, you may ask? 250.19s. So let's see if we can get back through some of these lows. This market's still consolidating. We talked about that 19.8 catching a bit of a bid earlier, and we're still kind of holding as of right now with about 9 minutes left on this 15-minute candle to print. So I'm looking for lower lows and lower highs. You guys let me know in the chat what you guys are looking for. Wow, AMD distinctly different.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Again, I got my baskets open here. So my chip basket I'm looking at, and AMD pretty much the strongest one out of the bunch. SMCI as well, kind of holding a little bit of its own as well. So I'm going to keep that on watch. I'm going to be reading what you guys are talking about in the chat, what you guys are trading. And for now, we're going to pass it back to Dara.
Keep an eye here on DWTX if you like these small caps. Dogwood Therapeutics. This got a bit of a move here on Friday. Apparently was mentioned in a newsletter. Today, no catalyst for DWTX, but it is worth noting 722,000 share float, so small float for Dogwood Therapeutics. Back to you.
Thank you, Dara. So yeah, we're back below that $40 level on Robinhood. What's going on with?
Oh, I just hate AMD like a lot, but okay, so we're short again, man. Now we're in the money, 70 cents on it, but we had to do stupid. Damn it, going to the gates of hell finally. Oh gosh, Apple right now is really coming in as well. So okay, so now we have $1 almost on AMD. Look, I hate this kind of trading. I'm not going to sit here and promote going short all the way up and celebrate when you're finally right. So forget about it, man. I'm not happy with trading on AMD. We just got stopped out at the top there. We'll be red on it. I mean, but like that last stop out really does suck. So boom to the downside. And again, why did I keep getting into it? It was just right here. I was trying to play off that Friday high. It got ran, and then I was like, no, we'll try one more time because the futures are still below. So we did believe in it. That's being stubborn. I don't really love that trade. My bad on that one, to be honest with you. I'm not in love, but you know what we are in love with? Okay, it's a face slapper. It's the money maker right now. It is the thriller in Manila. It is Apple, and that is just a monster move for me, man. We make it back with Apple in spades. I mean, this is now $1.80 in the money for the short side. And we actually, someone right here, man, I tweeted out earlier, and again, we're going to watch the market. It's 9:53. I mean, we're having a great time with Mr. Oh Boy over here.
Oh boy.
With Obi as we go.
What's that club again, Sean?
Are you in it? Are you in it, Obi?
I don't know.
Is it a Robin Hood club or is it
It's a Tesla. It's a hood. It's a Tesla's in the hood club.
Tesla in that. So both of them right there. And I just want to say right here, we said, what are we trading today?
Got a
Look
little
at the volatility. Someone on. Anyways, X is not loading up right now, but at some point we'll talk about it. Someone has. Oh, X is down right now, apparently.
Down.
Okay, so we'll figure that out right there. But yeah, oh boy, Obi. Great trading over there. We're $2. All right, just for me and Obi. $2 in the club right now for Apple. $1 in the club for AMD. How much you got there on Tesla?
2.5.
2.5. 1, 2. How much you got there on Robinhood, my guy?
1.
1 for Robinhood.
Oh boy.
All right, man.
All right,
this day is getting spicy. As there it goes, man. We are just.
Spice.
Oh boy, Joe, you better get ready, man. You better get ready because this show's fire right now.
Oh, there goes the spider.
Fire in the booth. Nice move to the downside right here.
Boom.
AMD, fire in the booth as well. As that's coming back down
back
through
to 100. Yeah, that would be
now.
nice.
We are on one. We're on one again. Bang. Let's go, man. Neil, I hope you're enjoying Dunedin right now because we are enjoying this market. Thanks, Obi, for coming through one more time. But oh boy, were we stubborn with AMD? Yes, we were. But now we've got it back in right now, and it's coming back in. So if we get out right here, we've made back about 2/3 of what we lost. Position, of course, as we always say, pending, because, unrealized losses, unrealized gains right there. So here we go. Nice move to the downside here, and yeah, just really happy. We finally caught it. There it goes, man. This is where the 50-cent stop outs and that really start to pay off. We talked about having risk management. If you don't have it, you don't got it. And, we understand where our stops need to be. We'll still be red on AMD, though. Too many shots to the high side. Let's just see if it does wind up fading out, though. Apple, come on, man. Let's give it up for some Apple, as that's really working to the downside right there. So watching out for VWAP. Maybe we do get that capitulated bottom soon.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of just watching this here. Again, that strong selling, we got right through that 19.8 on the NASDAQ. And yeah, we were talking about that SPY, and was okay, well, maybe we're breaking through the opening range high. Guess what? We wipe it right back down, and we're trading within that range, kind of coming into that low again. So again, we've seen this a couple of times there. Oh boy, there's some little bit of size there on Intel at that. Okay, buddy got taken out right away. At 2020s, there was about 1,700 lots there on Intel, kind of taken out right away. So yeah, maybe the selling kind of coming in there. All of that, yeah, all of that in a single order. So buddy got wiped out the book there on that one there. So yeah, I'm kind of just going to be patient watching this NASDAQ to see what it does with that 19.8 level here. Hood pulling back in a little bit here as well. $40 coming right back in. So VWAP, let's see. We attempted to push that 41. We got back below VWAP. We traded below the opening range lows, but we're catching a little bit of a chop here on Robinhood. This is what I got looking like on my other chart. So VWAP at 40.50. We're trading at 40. So let's see if we get that continuation right here. This was beautiful. We kind of come into some of these pre-market range lows just around that 41, and we do take a bit of a rejection for a quick little pullback into that $40 level here. Let's see if that kind of sustains or not. Tesla still holding that 245 area as of right now. So let's see, we've got about 3 minutes left on this 15-minute candle, Sean, to print. So let's see if we get another red one for another 15 minutes here. NASDAQ and ES still trading pretty within range. And something I was considering a little bit last week is keeping a closer eye on the VIX, right? So the VIX has been running up. The VIX is definitely at an elevated level here. So volatility is higher, and I'm starting to ask myself a little bit more as to how I should be shifting around maybe my sizing. Not necessarily, the trade is still the trade, but in terms of like compensating or keeping in mind the volatility of the market and making sure I don't get wicked out or kind of taken out of the move before it actually comes in, right? Because again, a little bit of volatility, you can have some more rangy moves there as well. So Tesla kind of coming in a little bit of a downtrend here on Tesla. Let's see if we can get back down into the 240s or low 240s here. VIX again 26s. So you can see going to a higher time frame. Let's go to the weekly right away and take a look at this. VIX has been running again for the past few weeks here. This bid kind of, or this increase starting in the second week of February 18th, the week of the VIX started to catch a little bit of a run to the upside. So those are the things that I'm watching. I want to know what you guys are trading here as well as we let some of these trades work out. Are you guys involved in Tesla? We talked about that 250 being a bit of a potential level to watch. Tesla 200 very soon, says Oscar. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think we've seen Tesla do crazy moves like that. It's been in a bit of a perpetual stair-step squeeze for the past few years, and yeah, that squeeze definitely has to bring in some shorts before you can squeeze them out, right? So one to watch out for. 200 Tesla, what do you think about that?
No, I think it's too low. I mean, look, if they can't figure out to sell a couple more cars, then I mean, I don't really know. I don't love the space. We talked about that. I think financing is going to be an issue moving forward, especially if we get some sort of a stagflation situation coming through where money just becomes too expensive, inflation. Again, we have some key reads coming up. Like if inflation's under control, then I do think there is going to be something to be said for picking some Tesla up. I'm just pretty negative about the whole story there. I mean, we've seen Disney, like when they were getting woke there and everything like that. We've seen Disney get really hit, and we've seen some other plays like that as well. When the people don't like something, stocks can fall down pretty easily, including AMD right now. It's getting into $100. So I'm gonna take out another piece. I just got excited there. I thought maybe we were getting a little bit higher, and I was like, oh my gosh, we don't want to be short. Okay, well. I mean, this is not necessarily a plane crash happening right now, but this market is definitely coming in, man. I mean, I did miss. So there it is. I was going to say, wow, AMD, I know there's no catalyst, but AMD is crack-a-lacking right now to the down. That's like, you heard that term before?
Crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, it means like it's cracking and lacking.
Yep.
But there it goes. I have no idea. But there it goes right now to the downside. AMD, an absolute monster. It's
another one.
So we'll props up that one right there as me and this guy over here, Obi, absolutely holding the shorts on board right now again. And I know you've got Tesla. So for your hope, I hope we do get to $200. There goes Tesla, man.
Intraday capitulation. Boom.
Yeah, I don't think we get to 2 bills today, but we definitely get somewhere, right? Okay, so remember, 78.50 for Palantir. Like, we were lucky enough to grab, am I even bidding there? I'm not. All right, so we got to bid a little bit lower here for Palantir and just give it a shot. I should have been at 78.50. I'm not sure why we didn't get long down there. We didn't have a bid. My bad. So that's, we should have had that bid, but okay, we don't. So all right, so this is Palantir right now. We'll wait to see what happens. We are bidding down here 78.70. And remember, just for everybody to see this, yep, good, let's go. Get more viewers. Yeah, okay, happening now, 10,000 plus viewers. We want to thank all of you for all of that. I'm trading like a maniac, so let's go over to Adara real quick and then back over here as quick as you like. Shout out to my guy, Sharif.
Yeah, we'll make this pretty quick here with this happening now so we can get back to the action. NASDAQ here trading with 2.42 relative volume. S&P 500, 2.2 relative volume, both sharply lower at the day and close to taking out, at least for the S&P 500 here, the lows from Friday. Donald Trump in an interview over the weekend hinted that not necessarily that there could be a recession, but that it was not necessarily out of the question, so keep that on watch. One of the biggest catalysts today is certainly going to be these S&P 500 inclusions or exclusions. Robinhood here will pull up Hood was one of the ones that was expected to be included that did not make the S&P 500 alongside names like Coinbase and AAPL. And then we have Palantir, who was actually added to the S&P 100, but still pushing lower. Last but not least, Google on watch here. This is the Robinhood chart, but Google on watch here, their monopoly fight now intensifying as the Justice Department, though it does take some of the AI aspects off the table, they are still looking to set up Google's Chrome business. So separating the Chrome business here is still a goal for the DOJ. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the action-packed content. Back to the guys.
In the system.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, we'll take our own responsibility for these trades here because, thank you, Adara, for all of that, by the way. AMD right now dropping into 99.40. Oh boy. This is now $2.50 in the money. Sorry. Apple's $2.50 in the money. AMD is $1.70 right now. Palantir's, we're trying to get a little longer. We just got a piece out there near $80. This is about 5 minutes ago. And that right now you're trying to bounce again off 79. I'm just trying to wait a little bit lower than this just to make sure that we do get the right fill. Again, I am seeing that something's wrong. My posts are not going out on X. So shout out to getting that fixed, hopefully, for Twitter. But yeah, all right. So what else is happening? I know you're in Robinhood, so I don't want to look at that. Let's look at Google.
Tesla's back down to 41s now, almost 40, 240s.
Yeah, so what's the plan of action there on Tesla?
I don't know. Wait for the bid to come in to look for a strong reason to cover. I've already gotten out at least half. But what I was telling Sean earlier was, Robinhood. I took a lot more on my initial trade than I did on the second trade, and a little disappointed in not taking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take my phone off the desk. It's the Trading View alerts, guys. I'm getting down in the DMs, and it is no other than Trading View there. But so 240s coming in here on Tesla. So Hood. I took significantly less on the short back through that 41, and I was like, all right, well, I have what I have. I'll take what I can get. Right, because at the end of the day, the trade is a trade, and sure, I did not in the moment. I didn't put on the appropriate kind of risk. On the short back through that 41 again, back through the opening price as well. Continuation trade on Hood there, but you know what? Sometimes you don't have the size that you kind of were looking to get into, and that's okay. Where's the next trade? Just take the trade as it's worth taking. Some size here on Intel as well. 1,000 lots holding that 20.05 here on Intel. So this is last week's low area was $20 flat. So if we break $20 on Intel with the market tailwind on our side, Sean, I am curious to know how much further we will get. We know that Intel has been kind of consolidating, a little bit of a weakness there after that 25 push. Again, if you look back a little bit further on the chart, bigger picture, it was accumulated in the 18 halves at a higher time frame, kind of a support level on Intel, and then we got that push to 25s.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a pullback here. I don't know if that trade is done just yet, but pullback off of those most recent highs. It was a failure to break out of a consolidation. Here's a bit of a bid coming in here on Tesla, so I don't want to take out most of that there. 39s on Hood. Oh boy, how much further can we get? Let's see. I didn't really plan for this one too well, obviously, because I'm the plan was to take it through the 40. When it does come in, I did not necessarily take more. But let's take a look left on this chart and see what levels we might be potentially coming into. 39s. Is this a free fall here as of right now? So we've got to go a little bit higher time frame. Let's make this a bigger picture here.
Go.
Full screen. Markets at the lows right now. So, oh boy, right here. So prior low, $37.99 for sale on Robinhood right there. So let's see if we can get down to $37.99, about a point away from where we are as of right now. And from that selling that did come in right before the open, I do want to measure how much further we are down. So this is great, but I like this because that's where kind of selling started to come in the pre-market. So we're down about 6.3% off of that level there on Robinhood. So continuing to the downside, I'm watching that Intel 20, Sean. That should be very, very interesting here. But oh boy, I did not expect to be 2 points on Hood like that off the 41. But it is what it is. We'll reassess and come back stronger tomorrow, a little bit better tomorrow. But yeah, those are the
We're
trades
huge today, man. Let's keep it going, man.
You want to be a little bit better every day.
Come on, man. We always, yeah, okay. By the way, right now, right now, it's Hydration Nation. It's floss off time because we just told you it's another dollar. These are reloaded dollars, man. This isn't like we're saying the same stuff back and forth again. This is a good reload here for us on Palantir down to that bottom level, man. Today's going to be an oh boy day, as we said, man. Starting to make a little bit of cash here, which is always nice. So far so good, and we'll just wait to see. Just got to make sure I have my auto cancels set up here. And again, just different platform, different things. Like we don't want to get overfilled, right? So we got to make sure that we have the right amount of shares out for our positions because we've been taking some new ones, reloading, so on and so forth. Look what the hell's happening right here. I'm going to hit the plane crash because we absolutely nailed this stock finally, but it just took a minute. So here we go. AMD down to 98.50. AMD's at 98.50. We're short at 101 right now. So this is going to be a good little trade, obviously, here for us. Are we going to reach 79 for Bitcoin? Yes, we are.
Yeah, 75s.
80,000 and change right now for Bitcoin. We will check in on IBIT. But bang, bang, and bang as we props it up, man. What a day. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Like, this is a huge day for us right now, man. $2. If you're in this game, you're in this game. We wrote down short, and more short. We wrote down on the sticky note more shorts. We wrote down everything. Everything we liked today was short. Short everything except for Palantir. And Palantir right now is $1 in the money long. So we're happy with that. There it goes. We'll take some more out here at 59. I don't, honestly, I put my hands up in the air because we are doing absolutely fantastic. Let's go, Obi. This is what trading's all about, man.
Trading.
We talk about this. Yay, trading. Love being here every day. Love being here with you guys. Let's get some of these new tires. Yo, mechanic, what's up, man? Maybe we can replace all 4 now based on what's going on as we go. But here we go. It's...
Every trade, you're like, I need one more. I'm going to go for the third one.
Tire. Oh, it's against me. No, I only need 3. No, we're
these tariffs, man. These tires. I don't know, where does the rubber come from? Oil's pretty. Oil's been moving around.
Yeah, oil. Yay, oil. Okay, so right now, just quickly, Obi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the next trade?
I mean, I'm like the next trade though. I mean,
yeah, of course, always.
No, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that 100%. But what I meant by that is like sometimes I get for myself a little distracted. It's like I'm looking for something else. Like I have 3 positions on.
Yeah.
You have 2 positions on.
Yeah. I mean, those are done. I'm in them. Like I'm letting them work. The stop is in. I don't necessarily need to really babysit them that much because again, I've already covered a little bit along the way. But yeah, I'm looking for that next trade. 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 lots on $20 here on Intel. So here, let me pull up the filter for you guys so you guys can see. The one thing that right here highlighted right there.
The one thing I appreciate about you, and it's just different style than Neil. Like you talk about, like you had more shares the first time.
Yes.
You know,
I had significantly more shares.
Right, and so that's being honest. So I like that kind of talk as same thing with me, right? Like we were short AMD a bunch of times. Like we're just getting back to green when this was happening for AMD. Why? Like how could we be $2.50 in the money, but just getting back to green when we just took 30, 40 cent, 50 cent hits? It's because when you take 5 50-cent hits, you know, at the end of the day, that's $2.50. Yeah. You know, so it can add up that way, or it can add up share size way, where we get a little carried away, we take too many shares or whatever on certain plays, and those plays don't work out. It's about grading the opportunities, and this is why, and again, Neil and I will go back and forth on this. This is why I don't like he took a 30-cent hit or something on Palantir the other day, which is fine. Again, all about the strategy. But for me, you got to let sometimes trades work out because I don't want to make, we talked about one good trade. I don't want to make like 7 trades. Like I want to make good trades, find the best ones, not just take little cuts. You know, little cuts are fine if you're using little shares, but if you're trading a little bit hotter, you know, you like 500 shares, 10 cents, 500 shares, 10 cents. Like the next thing you know, you're down a couple tires. You know, and it just becomes.
You've got a couple flat tires.
What the hell's my mechanic saying now? Okay, yeah, no, you don't want to have a couple. Oh, I got a smiley face.
I like the tire talk. Okay.
I said no rush to you, my guy, my mechanic. I just have ADHD. I don't know if I do or not. Ramina said that potentially I do. Ramin? You ain't no doctor.
Dr.
Yeah,
Ramin.
doctor of narcotics. What exactly doctors are we over there? But no, thing is, most of what we do on the show here is just for fun.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm.
Are you not entertained?
That's.
Are you not entertained?
We are trying to entertain.
Yeah.
And with over Obi, I know we
but...
are doing a hell of a job. And we can't do this without Ramin. We can't do this without Fabian. We can't do it without Obi. We can't do it without Bears vs. Bulls. And we sure as heck can't do it without everybody watching. Almost 10,000 of you are in the building right now. So thank you so much for that. But that 1.7K, man, if we can vote on this, we can definitely get going over here. 1,300 votes, 1.7K likes. Let's get that over 2K, or Obi, do not make another trade. All right, let's call it sick. No, we're never calling it sick. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, let's get that. You guys we got about 45 minutes here.
Just hit the wrong.
You want me to force a trade? Let's get that up to 10,000 likes. If we get 10,000 likes, maybe I'll dabble into some bad habits. No, I'm joking. I don't do that.
Bad habits, or some sort of a song like that. I've
3891.
There's something bad habits
on Hood. Oh, my bad habits have me coming back to you, or something like that. That's a Ed Sheeran song. Yeah,
don't
beautiful
quit your day job like me. I tried to get Kevin O'Leary to invest in Trader TV Live, and he said, "Don't quit your day job." I mean, that didn't sound that well. I'm going to put out something funny later on about Kevin. So I want to thank Kevin O'Leary for coming through, and he's going to be coming.
I don't think he needs to worry. Those ventures are definitely capitalizing for him.
Those O'Leary Ventures funds that he has. You mean?
What's that?
No,
he's venture capitalist. Right?
Oh, venture capitalist. Yeah, he has the O'Leary funds as well. Yeah. That I thought maybe.
That size got taken out here on $20 there on Intel, but we rebid right away. So again, that's the information I'm looking for. What do we do? Okay, cool. We print that size. Buyers at that $20 level got taken out there, or some of them did. But what does price do after that? Let's see. Let's observe. $20.01 still holding. A little bit of a size kind of reappearing on that 20 after some of it got taken out. You can see right here, 300 lots now, so significantly less than the 3,000 we had before on Intel. But yeah, I'm looking for this 20 to kind of give me some information here. So let me pull this in here. Wow, Tesla's still consolidating near lows. Oh boy, this is. Yeah, you know what? Again, we talk about kind of trailing the position here. So I don't normally trade Tesla like this, but again, that 250 was a little enticing, so did get involved. But again, didn't size as aggressively because I was risking about 3 points. Again, got short 240 under 247s. I tried to get 247s and some change, didn't really get it. So a bit of a chase in the 246s, but again, covered I guess about over 80-90% of whatever I did take there. So a little bit of a nice sell-off there on Tesla, but catching a little bit of a bid now. VWAP's all the way back at 247s here, but the market is trading lower as we now test that next $100 level here. We break that 19.8. We're on top of 19.7 now, Sean. So let's see if the market can give us some more moves to the downside here. Apple continuing to consolidate near its lows here. Bit of a break. Oh, that 233 was definitely interesting. Was an interesting level for me on Apple, and we basically cracked that pretty aggressively going in off of the open there. So I do want to cover a little bit of a hood here on that trail as the bid starts to step back in. Again, if we bounce off this 19.7, I don't necessarily want to be too heavy in this. And if Tesla is going to come right back in above 245s, I don't necessarily want to get too involved or stay too involved with that one just yet. But let us know in the chat, what are you guys trading? How has your morning been? Throw it up in the chat. What are some of the tickers that you guys have been evolved in? We know that BBAI was doing some stuff in the morning. Let's go check on that one there. Big Bear AI. So yeah, got up to 357. Oh boy, what a beautiful kind of short off the open there. So continuing to do more of what it has been doing over the past couple of, I think, weeks. Post earnings again as well. Today is technically earnings day 2, and we didn't quite get below that day 1 low. Not only that, we broke through this consolidation high in the pre-market. You can see I have my anchored VWAP that's been pinned to the earnings action there coming in here. Let's make that a little bit of a better color so you can see it a little bit better. So 341 was where that anchored came in. We did go all the way up to 356s on BBAI before pulling right back in below VWAP here. Didn't really quite get back through the opening price just yet. It would seem, oh, actually, no, you know what? I am wrong. I'm looking at a 30-minute candle when I thought I was looking at a 15-minute candle here. So that bid, let's see where that comes in right here. That was off of the news in the pre-market. So that reference low is more of what I mean. We are trading below that opening range low as of right now. What's up, Adara?
No news on this, but just be aware, Harley-Davidson actually popped up for me on the volume scanner. Under 500,000 shares traded on the day, but worth noting, this one is trying to ride higher, 11% short float for HOG. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Get on that hog, that is for sure.
The incredible Mr. Lib saying KO is printing nicely. Let's see what's up with this one here. So Coke. So we know. Again, I was talking about XLP in the morning. Consumer staples here. So let's see. XLP is probably running as well. If that's the case, okay. Well, not as strong as the equity,
Bitcoin is getting smoked.
Bitcoin getting smoked. What do you got going on? 79s. Fabian was like, "What's my target?" I was like, I was like, if we break below the 100,000 consolidation, then I like the 75. I like to work in quarters.
Right.
Quarters and maybe sometimes eighths.
50s. Oh, eighths?
Eighths. Shout out to the old days.
I see what you're saying.
Where, I wasn't necessarily around, but it seems like the eighths could be important. But what's that? The zips? Oh, like that kind of eighth. No. I'm talking about, we used to trade in eighths. The market used to trade in 1/8.
Born, my guy.
No, I understand, but I think there might be things that are still kind of hanging around and respecting that.
I got you.
Some of those prices,
My
but
mind
I don't know.
worked there.
Tinfoil hat, tinfoil suit, no idea. But I like to work with quarters and eighths. But Coca-Cola definitely very, very strong here. Let's take a look at a higher time frame and see what's going on here. Absolutely beautiful. Again, we had some of this strength coming in the prior weeks. We did get a strong flush, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this was the one right here. So Tuesday, March 4th, we got a strong flush there. Let's get that VWAP out of the way and go to a even higher time frame. Let's go to the hourly here. So we are looking for that breakout. Oh boy. So this was the bid I was looking at right here. So strong push off of the earnings. We got continuation for a couple of weeks, almost for the rest of the month, and then some strong selling coming into the beginning of the month in March. So again, maybe strong month last month, beginning of the month, maybe some selling, and then now we're headed right back up towards those highs. Those highs being at 72.71, currently trading at 72.50. So I like that look. Incredible, the incredible Mr. Lib saying that Coke is printing for him. So yeah, maybe if it can get through that 71, oh boy, that might bring in some more buying pressure here. But something that does not have buying pressure, Sean, oh boy, why don't I have more? It's okay.
We never know that answer.
Look at that. Look at this. It's a grind. This is a grind down. So maybe I should just stick with this one here until it really breaks down. Oh boy, I don't want to do this because yeah. There's okay, not so bad, not so bad. I was like, okay, higher time frame. I definitely have a lot of lines, and on Tesla, I thought it was going to be kind of plastered all over the chart, but it's not as bad on the 3-minute chart here. But yeah, a little bit of a strong trend to the downside. What I wanted to do was draw a bit of a trend line here. So again, let's see if we can hold kind of below this 240. Again, interesting level. We talk about 250. So we did about a 10-point move. Well, I didn't take a 10-point move, but from that 250, which I was thinking as an over/under level, I was like, all right, if we can hold and trade below 250, maybe sellers are still in this vehicle. Sellers might be in this vehicle here on Tesla. You see what I did there?
I did.
But 240 trading below that now. Okay, I have a bit of a level here from before at 235. Let's see if we can go 5 more points lower as sellers continue to push into this. But $20 still holding on Intel, man. So oh boy. So I really like that trade on Coke as well. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm going to take a look at some of those other names like ENPH.
I just wanted to bring a quick. Someone asked me about reloading on Palantir.
Yes.
I am reloaded on Palantir. We are reloaded on Palantir. Bang right there. Thank you so much for the face slapper right there. There it is, man. We just got more shares down here. I got to sort of punch out like a little bit of a maniac here because that's a nice move to the upside. Boom. This is a big day, man. We're nicely up here today. We are loving everything. We love the market. We love that everyone's here with us right now, but I don't know why we only have 1.9K likes. So let's get it. Hey, how about this? Like, we've got to throw to Adara. we got to pump it up. Hit the like button, not for Obi or Fry, but for Adara, who's filling in. She'll also be on the midday show if we get more than like 2,300 likes. We'll put her on the midday show, I think, or she may be there regardless. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We're all over the place today. It's been a big one. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Both green over here, so I'm sure you're fine with me saying that. Yep. It's been a good day here, so let's go back over to the big screen and find out what's up with Miss Adara. There we go, 2K likes.
I can confirm I will be on the midday show regardless of likes, but please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we are bringing you. Let's take a look here at the IWM, which is actually perilously close to the $200 level, and also taking out Friday's lows, kind of a similar look to the S&P 500. As we witnessed earlier, down about 1.8%. But what's not down here is one of today's small caps, Sharps Technology, STSS. This is a penny stock, no catalyst on it, but from what I was seeing here, an impressive 70% plus short floats. Keep an eye on STSS. Next up, we have SNOA. No news on Sonoma either. This one does vote a 1.6 million share float. And last but not least, Mineralysis. So this one actually does have a catalyst, our only small cap of the day with a catalyst. Mineralysis here, therapeutics announcing some positive top-line results from some of their critical trials of uncontrolled resistant hypertension treatment. So some hypertension treatment getting some positive results for MLYS. Back to you.
The trades are solid.
The trades are what we're here to do, right? I mean, we are here to make trades, make some cash, and hopefully just show everybody that, you know, day trading here for a living is definitely possible. Obi and I...
I got an alert for coin crossing prior week low. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but that was you.
No, that's great. Let's go. All right, so like, yeah, no, I was just saying, like, there's Palantir. Like, I'm not, like, we're $1.50 in right now. And again, Obi, what you caught Obi and I talking about were just easy trades. And it's like, we knew that Tesla was our number one idea short. Number two idea short was Robinhood. Number three idea short was the market. Number four idea was Palantir long, which is by far my number one stock. It's not even close. So, yeah, we're all about it, man. We bowdy. And thank you so much right there. Over 2,000 likes right there. So we want to thank everybody for all of that. All right, so we're out of already. Thank you, Anurag, in the chat who asked me if it was reload Palantir time. All you really have to do is check out the sticky note. If anything changes as it's happening, that's why I sort of wanted to say that before we threw over to Adara. Obi and I will let you know if we're sort of, you know, changing ways or anything like that on what we're thinking. But I'm still thinking short. When I'm looking at the market here, I mean, Obi already nailed that we were under 20,000 earlier. But now the cues, like, look at this, man. This is a 30-minute chart. Like, where's the love, right? Like, I don't really, like, we can go over to a 60-minute chart. Where is the love? Is that a Black Eyed Peas song or something? Yes. Nice downside move. They're still pushing. So there's nothing here. So I think we go lower, man. And I don't know. I'd said earlier when we came on that this could be a 3% whoosh day. I just checked my account. Like, when's the last time I bought the S&P? March 5th. So, by the way, who all about this? Awesome. Starbucks. I didn't even, that's a great one there. Hitting back, we talked about that at 115, that was probably a short back into a bill. So there it is. So March 5th was the last time we bought. So it was right here. No, not that up candle. Where is March 5th? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's right into here, so it's only last Wednesday. But at the end of the day, 576, now down to 566 and going a little bit lower. I think we'll hold off today, but we could, you know, we could dip in there and buy another 5% or so. That's what I'm trying to do, is buy some indexes because I'm way overloaded on equities. So we'll wait for all of this. But yeah, good day over here, man. We've hit our day goal. We hit that about on this sort of this last Palantir little reload. We did have some explaining to do to ourselves about this trade here on AMD, so we had to battle that back. So that was really the only thing that's the problem. But right here, you know, the biggest P&L name, and I have to be careful because this guy beside me might be putting up some numbers as well. But Palantir right here is a big day. So we'll wait to see if it can load back up, but back up into the 50 period and then right there again into VWAP as we go. So yeah, just we're making more as we go. 250 Apple's down here. So let's just review what we have. 5% left on Apple, which is why I really haven't talked about it. We have about 15% or so left on AMD, making me a little nervous that we're in this sort of range right here. Palantirs are just a bunch of reloads, man. We have 35% left of our reloaded spot there. So we'll get a little bit more out at the 50 period. If the market wants to rebound from here, I know we have the right, I feel like we have the right names. So we'll just continue to watch out for that. But yeah, Roberta Flack. Oh, Danny Hathaway is the where is the love thing. Okay. Thank you for that. MSTR and IBIT. We talked a little bit about what Bitcoin was doing here as well. And Bitcoin makes a huge fall. Down 8% today is BTC. So how about this, Obi? You're relatively young. You're about maybe 2 or 3 years younger than me.
Yep.
Hit fail on myself. All right. Would you rather, at these levels, we just talked about the S&P 500 slightly being under the 200 period moving average, or the NASDAQ, you could pick either one of those indexes, or if there's another index you like, you can mention that as well, or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Which one?
Which one would I buy right now?
Yeah, like let's just say your total portfolio was like 10 grand, and you were looking to put 5,000 or 500 in right now. So you're trying to dip by 5-10% of some kind of a play. Do you prefer right here the S&P at these levels or Bitcoin down at 80,000?
I think I don't know. That's a tough question without kind of looking or.
I bring the
really
hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, I think in terms of what I like, I would want to maybe post a bid at 75 on Bitcoin and see if that hits for a quick scalp. I think that's
so you don't really like anything here long term. Basically, you would be scalping nature.
I mean, we just talked about the VIX kind of still continuing to push up higher, right? So I'm like, okay, if we get that bit of push on volatility and maybe volatility capitulates, then maybe there
any love for
maybe
gold?
Potentially gold. I mean, gold is.
I'm trying to check it out right here.
Gold is all right. I think gold has been pushing all-time highs, but we did kind of take a bit of a pullback there off of it. But yeah, no, I haven't really taken a strong look at stuff for like long term. And I know we were talking about it this morning. Like a majority of the years, the spider makes a few all-time highs every year. Right.
You think we get back to highs? I actually do not.
I mean, I have no idea.
I'm not like I was trying to think of it. I was like, okay, what about these tariffs? Like, what are we actually talking about here? If let's just say the tariffs get pulled back, does that mean we go to highs? I don't know. I'm not overly convinced of that.
We kind of talked about this earlier this morning. Like these are all great conversations to have, but at the end of the day, I'm not really an analyst.
Right.
So I don't really know. I like the price action. I like the chart.
On TV.
I like the price action. I like the chart. So again, the trades are.
Or is that a trade
around
I'm not
there?
sure what we do.
Yeah.
Over here.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, I think
38s on Robinhood. Oh boy.
Again, I just feel like the easier trades, right? Tesla short, Robinhood short, Q's short, Palantir long. I mean, it's just been pay dirt so far here today. So, all right, you know what? In a matter of 10 minutes, we are bringing back most people's favorite segment, and probably it's not even close to their favorite segment, but we're going to bring back What's for Lunch.
Ooh, okay.
Because now I have the weekly calendar. I don't like having the weekly calendar. Adair and I discussed this last week when we got it, and that is the fact that now we know, like, I like being surprised about what's coming through.
I mean, you could just not open it.
No, but it's literally just listed. I don't know, you probably don't get the email, but I'll show it to you. Yeah, it's like very... Like I knew today this morning was hard-boiled eggs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I like opening up that little tinfoil and getting the surprise of what's in there.
Yes.
You know, like those nice little wraps that we sometimes will get. Okay, enough talk about this.
Yes.
Let's go over to that. Adara with crypto.
This is the chart of Bitcoin, and it is not a particularly beautiful chart, for lack of better terms. We did have a bit of a double top, as mentioned earlier. This first top made December 17th. The next one here made January 20th. That was, of course, Inauguration Day. Since then, we went from just over 109,000 to currently below 80,000. The next low we would need to take out, though, is this one that we made on Friday, February 28th. That's the level we're looking for next. What triggered the selling? I mean, there's a variety of things that could be attributed, but we know that there were already some concerns about what Donald Trump had planned for the crypto reserve, with people thinking that certain crypto names like Cardano, Solana were not necessarily worthy of being included alongside Bitcoin, especially because if you remember his initial post announcing this reserve had Bitcoin and Ethereum mentioned in a double tweet, or I guess a reply, about 2 hours after the initial post. So pretty interesting look. This sell-off also followed the crypto summit that took place on Friday. So Friday's crypto summit, maybe a bit of a sell the news event here for BTC. Let's take a look here at some of how these other names are doing. Ethereum down about 4.5%, XRP down about 5%, BNB 3.5, Solana 8.5. And I want to mention too, before I throw you back to the guys, one element that I found interesting, I mentioned on the morning show as well, the fact that two of the names that were really heavily expected to be added to the S&P 500 that were snubbed were Coinbase and Robinhood, both of which are involved in the crypto space. So quite a few catalysts in crypto to watch out for this morning to start a pretty eventful week for the markets and for crypto. Back to you.
Thank you, Dara. Yeah, so what an eventful beginning of the week we've had. Some strong selling coming right back in. So again, I like that there. And from both perspectives, from a day trading perspective and a long-term perspective, I like the discounts, right? So if the market's going to continue to be discounted, then yeah, let's all aboard that train there. But yeah. I'm watching this Intel, man. This $20 level is holding like a champ right now on Intel. So again, no real decision just yet. $20. Ooh. So yeah, the last week's low was $20 to the T. So, and I saw that bounce happen off the $20, and I was like, oh boy, that was a very clean level hold. And coming into this week, I don't think we've printed a penny below as of yet. Yeah, $20 flat is the low on Intel as of today as well. So holding that prior week low, bit of a held bid, it would seem like, on that $20 level. Now, if that buyer kind of drops, again, let's see if we hold that 20 as a support turn to resistance. So that's the next question I'll be asking. Market tailwind is definitely on our side there, but if we're going to have a held bid while the market continues to fade off, then I do want to be a little bit patient for that one there. But oh boy, Tesla is trading a little bit lower there. I got out of the rest of that Tesla, Sean, but it seems like that 235 might be well within range if the market continues to drop here. I know someone earlier was talking about ENPH, Enphase Energy, and this one has been quite energetic off of the open here. So doing that pre-market relative volume, bit of a crumble there. So whenever I see this kind of price action, regardless of whether it has a relative volume or not, I'm always like, yeah, a little bit of a crumble action there. But that bid steps in with expanding volume off of into the open and a strong trend to the upside. Now, I don't know if this really had a catalyst, but it says apparently six hours ago, insiders sold shares according to recent SEC filing. That's the latest thing. Here comes the ES. Oh boy. Who is short and who is holding on?
For dear life.
For dear life. But yeah, seems like, again, that 20 still not breaking with that flush coming in on the market, Sean. So very, very interesting action here on Intel. Anybody's got any intel on that $20 level hold? Let's see. Yeah, profit. Definitely big guys at 20 on Intel saying profit. So yeah, exactly. So a bit of a held. Again, in the market, there are times where you see held offers and held bids, and yeah, it could just be a larger participant that's sitting there. And I think that 79 level on Palantir is another kind of example of that as well, right? So we saw that level hold last week, and we're doing more of the same here. So it's being patient, waiting. Where's the next trade?
Well, my next trade was just reloading Palantir down here, right here at 20s. And we just got some out at 40s. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's going back upside, because we almost broke 78. If this thing breaks 78, man, we are gone. I'm not trying to like do anything too crazy here or anything like that. We will be getting out of Palantir on a 78 break, but we are also long here at 23. So let's take some more out at 40. There we go. And then just see what winds up happening now, because again, I like the trade, but I don't like the market. I feel that bad because we did talk about this potential market. Wow, I'm gonna get another bid here. Going down 3%. I hate that this is down where we are here. Oh no, I left my earpiece somewhere. Oh no, I think it's back over there on the table. I'll go get it. But at the end of the day, what do you want me to do? Okay, e-signal, there it is. Thank you, Andre. Andre 3000. Yeah, e-signal. Okay, let's get going. All right, I'll just go. All right, so I want everyone to make sure that they do scan that QR code right there. Why should we do that? Because e-signal is your one-stop shop for charting needs, man. I mean, all the back testing, every single thing you could possibly want available with e-signal. Tick charts, minute charts, second charts, entitlement based, right? Over 50 plus brokers, you can trade from the charts. You can set it all up. You don't need to now open up your brokerage account. You can just go nuts and start trading right there live with eSignal. And again, first month is free. We are very, very proud to be able to offer that to you. It took us a bit to organize that. So we want to do thank you to eSignal for that, and make sure you do take advantage of their offers. So eSignal right there, scan that QR code again. It's the charts that I use. We talk about that all the time. Again, understand your charting platform is probably one of the most important things you can do as a trader. eSignal makes it simple, great customer support, and first month free. So again, really, really happy to be able to do that. Okay, so Palantir broke. I know it's back above now, but it broke. So we're not going to cry over spilled milk or anything. That's just the trade that wound up happening there for us. It does break lower, and that we got out. Is that going to be potentially the bottom? Yeah, it might be, and maybe we called it. But at the end of the day right here, we wrote down on our sticky note, and I want to thank everybody for liking it there today. We wrote down 78 breaks. So Obi, we talk about, sitting in there, making sure that we follow our own rules, and that was one right there on our, oh yeah, that's right. I'm trying to post things up here, not working on, oh, it worked. Oh, okay, whoops. That was a real old post that just went out right now. But there it was right there on Palantir, 78 to 79. If it flushes, we'll buy that up. Unfortunately, we do follow the, not unfortunately, but now it's in the money 50 cents. I really do hope that some of you were able to hold it, but not this guy. We're out as we follow the rules. AMD again, down in the day's low, and that's another rule of ours. Let's just start to cover as we get into some of these lows. I'm just bidding 55 as well. So, there it is. We just got that. So that was a good trade for us. Looking to get some more shares on that name. Palantir, Apple, AMD. What else is going on here? SMR, I'm getting a little. And again, here we go. Here's an alert. So this is coming from eSignal, SMR, SMCI, AMD, PayPal. This is a curated list of mine where I've just put on names that I'm looking at for the day. Or actually, I don't really update it that often, so I add new ones on the day, but I'll keep the same list. And again, bouncing there, I'm assuming approaching VWAP, different scanners. So that was a 5-minute moving average right there that just popped up for SMR. So we'll have to wait to see, but that is a nice bounce play as the market's catching bids now. So boo for that Palantir, but at least we were mentioning it. We do like that one. I saw that you got out of your Tesla.
Yeah, I got out of the Tesla.
Okay, go ahead. I was going to look at it for a long, but what do you think?
Yeah, would you look at that? So Tesla, I kind of pointed this out a little bit earlier, a bit of a downtrend that was holding. So I'm like, all right, I like the idea for the short. So simple exit rules here. Wow, Hood with that bid coming in very, very aggressively. Oh boy. So a bit of a trend break happening on Robinhood right now, as well as the market catches a little bit of a bid as well. But yeah, kind of a simple rule here. I'm just like, all right, well, that 250 came in. We sold off. We kind of break trend. We're starting to slow down. Basically, all this shows me is that selling might be slowing down. So I'm just taking it off of that one there. A quick little scalp on Tesla. But let's go to Dara for the recap. Or sector watch.
We're going to recap here the actions of some of these sectors, which we have a lot of red, but I actually want to focus on the green because you might not expect that we'd have as much strength and as many sectors as we do on this side of the board. Health technology, despite a big drop here in Eli Lilly, generally pretty strong. Consumer non-durables looking good. Energy and minerals, utilities, communications, and distribution services all looking pretty good. UNH selling a little bit here in health services, but some of the other tickers in this group are starting strong as well. What's certainly not strong, though, is going to be consumer services. McDonald's holding up nicely, as mentioned by Michael Noss this morning, but booking holdings very weak. Consumer durables being dragged to the downside by Tesla. Finance, not a great look. JPM, we have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, AXP all selling. Retail trade here, Amazon and Walmart dropping. So is Costco on day 2 earnings. And of course, the tech sector. There's very little strength or relief to be found in these tech names. The Mag 7s across both the electronic technology and technology services sector, both sharply red across the board. Netflix continuing to sell off. Oracle weak. Cisco weak. It's really hard to find tech strength, but it is actually pretty easy to find strength in other sectors, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, we kind of talked about that earlier on during the the watch list, the rundown for the watch list.
Love that watch list.
Where a lot of strong selling across the board, but there's definitely sectors that you can look for where the bid might be coming in as well, and we saw that coming in with some of those health sectors here. So yeah, this is the so XLE is trending higher. XLU is trending a little bit higher. XLP is trending higher, and I think XLV. We were looking at some of those healthcare sectors as well. So
I like XBI.
XPI?
B, which is
XBI.
biotech. It's getting hit too. But.
Yeah. No, tech is the only one that's really selling off out of all of these select funds. So keeping that into consideration, watching that. Bit of a turnaround here on Hood, as again I went up to looking at it on a 5-minute now. You can see that we failed that 41. We came all the way into 38. And remember when I said earlier, I was like, all right, where can we potentially look for a decision-making point there? And just looking back on the chart, we found that 38 level was that prior kind of a support area here, all the way from, when is this? This is January 13th, 2025. So just a couple months ago right there, you can see that that's where we caught this bit of a bid here on Robinhood. So yeah, maybe catching a little bit of some trouble there at that 38 in terms of sellers kind of meeting up with a few buyers there. So that's basically was the idea. It's like, all right, if I want to sell this, where can I potentially look for buyers to kind of start buying up with again as well? And that 38 level showing us a little bit of that strength coming in here on Robinhood today. So a nice little turnaround there on Robinhood. And again, with a confluence of a market sell-off, bringing that in off of the open there. But yeah, the market continues to make fresh lows here, Sean. So
wow.
I have no idea, but I'm looking for the next trade. That $20 level on Intel still holding like a champ. So what's going on there?
I just want to see this is what my daughter's doing right here, right now. Come over to the screen. This is her right here. Look at this, Joe. Look at this through the cones. Look at this, Joe. Look at that. There we go. So really, really super. Oh, boom.
Boom.
I didn't see that shot. I didn't see that shot. One more time. I don't. Here we go. So this is my daughter here, 10 years old. She's at hockey camp. Look at that, Joe. Look at that. And here comes the shot. Look at that, receiving the pass. Boom. Top cheese.
That's awesome.
You like those crossovers? Yeah, I didn't teach her any of it. But there it is, man. Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm all about.
That's really cool.
That life.
Yeah.
She is something special to me, and so is my wife. So thank you so much for taking them.
Did you play a lot of sports when you were younger?
Yeah. So
what was your main?
Playing rugby in grade 11, which really sucked, and had knee surgeries and all this kind of stuff. So it kind of stopped in and around there. But no, Neil and I played on the same high school baseball team.
Oh wow, nice.
We played on the same high school basketball team.
Sick.
So yeah,
awesome.
we did all that. I played rugby, football, as well for high school. So just basically it all ended in high school. And then no, I continued on beer leagues. So there's some pictures on my Instagram of me and the kids. I was number 6 or number something, and my kid was 6.5. I don't know. I showed that picture before, right there. But yeah, a lot of sports. Didn't play hockey though.
Okay.
Curling. We talked about curling.
What about ball? Like ball hockey was very.
Ball hockey.
Yeah,
of course.
Was huge. Ball hockey. We used to do ball hockey during recess. Like they would open up the gym, and
Love ball hockey. But you know what I love more? Sport of trading.
Let's go.
Right there, because you never know what you're going to get involved with.
Yes.
Down now 5% on Apple, $4 in the money. We are $6 right now. And this is it's not something new for us, but today is. Every day is something new. AMD right now $3.50 in the money, making new lows in the market. Unfortunately, we did have that prediction of 3% lower in the NASDAQ. We are now 3% lower in the NASDAQ right there. But yeah, absolutely awesome day for the shorts and not a one for the longs. Palantir holding out. If anything, this will be the name that I like long. It sounds crazy to say that, down 8%, but it's the one that's really at the lows, but has been pretty strong. We were sad that we sort of got knocked out of it, but not that sad, guys. As right now, Palantir still doing its thing. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day long. So yeah, it's been an exciting day. Just one that it's hard for me to get behind too much because I'm gonna get another bid. I just know how bad this is I even looked at the long-term account. I actually thought about maybe I cannot buy new tires at all. But all right, so here we go, man. Yeah, everything's either at its 200 period moving average or potentially lower. Let's go. Money talks already? Sure. All right. We're early, but never too late to discuss the dollar. It's Money Talks.
Yeah, we're going to do the Money Talks here a couple minutes earlier. There's not a lot to talk about here in the world of the U.S. dollar, but there are some Trump updates I do want to mention. So here's the U.S. dollar. This is a 6-day losing streak for the U.S. dollar. Now we've been weak the entirety of last week and starting this week off on a bit of a not a strong note. But it's worth noting here, selling getting a little bit more contracted in the last 3 days of this downtrend compared to the first 3 days of aggressive selling. So keep that in mind here for the U.S. dollar. This is an incredibly light day when it comes to economic data. We actually don't have any. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we're going to be getting the JOLTS job openings. Wednesday, we get CPI. Thursday, we get PPI. But there is one thing I want you guys to be aware of today. Donald Trump at 1 p.m. is holding a tech roundtable, apparently with the Technology CEO Council. It's unclear who's going to be involved in that event. And it's worth noting, this is actually at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be getting this roundtable. At 3 p.m. Eastern, Trump will be signing executive orders. Both of these are actually closed to the media, though there might be some comments after the fact. So around 2 and 3 p.m. heading into the afternoon session, watch out for technology names as the Tech Trump roundtable takes place. Back to you.
Yeah, so a bit of a pullback on the Dixie there, market's not really.
Apple's $4, AMD's $3. We only have 2% left now of Apple, as we just took a piece out right there at 228. Like that's getting pretty aggressive to the downside. Make sure you do join, and I just see her come over here, Adara and Joe, on the midday show. But you know what?
It'll be a fun show.
Let's see if we can cheer people up a little bit. We're getting close to what's for lunch. I'm getting a little hungry. I almost don't even want to talk about it. All right, here we go. Let's open up this thing here and figure this out. All right. Well, today's breakfast was a fresh fruit bowl, of course, with whole fresh fruit, assorted bagels, butters, and cream cheese with hard-cooked eggs. That's for breakfast. But what is for lunch today, Obi? You may be asking.
Ooh. Okay.
Mongolian beef with stir-fried chow mein, mixed vegetables, and Asian cabbage salad. Huh? That's what's for lunch.
Nice. Sounds interesting.
Take it.
Excited?
I think it's so great. The Mongolian beef there, why not have beef? Why not have Mongolian beef? So, with some little stir fry. We did make a little stir fry at our house last night. Got the little walkout, put some little chow mein going on there. It was chicken, though.
Nice.
And then we did stop and got, my daughter loves just the little maki rolls, like the California rolls, stuff like that. So we actually wound stopping and getting that. Made the little, pasta or the noodle dish at home, and that was pretty good. And then I made burgers on.
Ooh, yeah. We were talking about that last week.
I think it was Fridays. Yeah, we keep on failing on getting it. Homemade burgers, I think those are some of the best there. So we made that on Friday, and then my son reheated one yesterday, and he had that, as well as some of those noodles. So that was pretty
Burgers
good.
are the best, man. Like, well balanced. You can throw a little bit of everything in
throw
there.
A little piece of cheese on there if you like the veggies. You can load them on. We like banana peppers. I think is pretty sweet on top of a burger.
Ooh, what is that? Ice cold.
Ice cold right
ice
there.
Cold, frozen.
As the market has turned ice cold. We do have
1960.
We still have 10% left of NVIDIA, of AMD. So we're going to take out another piece right there. Part of me doesn't even really want to go to the gym today because I feel like I want to sit here and trade this. I do think that there's going to be a rebound at some point. Here, people are like, do you remember what the story was with Elf Cosmetics, Adara? Was there one? Elf today is up 9%. Let's just check out Benzinga Pro as Adara's getting ready to rock and roll I want to know if she knew something quickly for the midday show. So Elf, let me just check this out right here. So we'll go over to Elf Beauty. Again, I like the space. Multi-year, this is on Friday. Okay, National Soccer League, that's good. They just did have earnings, I feel like, for Elf, but maybe not that I see on here. So a couple upgrades right there. Okay, so I'm not really seeing too much there on Elf, but at the end of the day, 77, if I remember correctly, that's right where we are, right? Yeah, so there it is there on the daily chart. You can check out Elf Cosmetics, been really hit downside there again. Products made in China, tariffs coming through as well, but this looks like a great breaking spot for Elf. And $78, $79. I always say, get this out of here. If you like the stock, you do sometimes have to absorb these moves, but it does look like we could get a continuation here, break through $79. But I know Neil always talks about this, and you and I talked about it with XLF and things like that. Maybe the break for the highs aren't that great, but maybe if you get a low and then break off of that, maybe something like there's just back on Monday. I'm going to talk about this. Well, Michael Nas, I believe tonight on the recap show, which I'll be doing there tonight. We'll talk to him. I want to ask him about this. What does he think about the banks? Because there's one sector that I'm pretty underweight in right now, and it is financials. So looking to get some dip buy opportunities in that.
Yeah.
Dude, we're at 227.
On Apple, yeah, no, Apple's straight. There's no bid on Apple.
450.
There's absolutely no bid on Apple.
Yeah, look, it's part of my
money.
We're 450 in the money on Apple. We're 350 in the money right now on AMD. So with only 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
Any plan for your Robinhood? I mean, I know that's very similar to all of these.
I mean, like I've gotten out of, I would say 95%. So now I just have the trail going on, and let's see what it does with that. But yeah, insignificant size left on Hood on a trade where I already basically undersized because I'm like, I like the 40. But again, going back at it, a bit of a quick review there. If I did like the back through 40, when it comes back in and consolidates and then breaks back below 40, instead of having some of my initial covers here, maybe I got to get a little bit better with being like, all right, let me take more on that first kind of impulse of wanting to get out there on Hood as it's working, right? It's showing me that sellers are kind of dominant. It's false broken the opening price, and it's traded below VWAP. It's tried to reclaim and then traded below, which I think is very valuable as well, and then gets below that opening range low and can't get above back through 40. So yeah, it's definitely more reason to sell that was there, and yeah, I have no business kind of buying in on that initial break there. So yeah, it could be a little bit better there on Hood, but again, it's coming right back into that 38 level that I pointed out earlier. So it's like, all right, if sellers kind of come in here, that price or that level hold happened at the beginning of January there, but it's only been a couple months. But if we're going to sell off on this news or on the move where it's like, all right, well, maybe players were positioning for a potential add in the S&P, and now that's kind of failed, and I'm looking for the price action or the bid to kind of fail as well here. So 38's coming right back in here on Hood. I'm going to let that one just do its thing here.
Oh my.
But yeah, I forget who, was it Mr. Incredible Library or something like that? Yeah, the Incredible Mr. LIB. So he was in a
That means he's a liberal.
So I thought it was library. Okay, anyways, it doesn't matter. Coke, that prior high, 72, what was it, 72.70, 72.80s, I think it was. Yeah, 72.71, and look at that. Absolutely beautiful there, continuation. So you're asking, where is the bid? It's definitely not on Apple, it's definitely not in tech, it's definitely not on the spider, but Coca-Cola getting a little shaken up here and blowing up to the upside as price action breaks out towards, are these all-time highs, Sean? I think they might be on Coca-Cola. No, not yet. 73.53. So we're about 50 pennies away from all-time highs here on Coca-Cola. So gonna watch out for, actually, you know what, adjusted, I must correct myself, adjusted, these are all-time highs right here on Coca-Cola. So Coke breaking out to some fresh highs as tech sells off, and maybe some staples getting bought up. I'm curious to know if Pepsi's having a similar kind of move here on the day. Yes, grind bid there on on Pepsi as well, kind of happening there. A little bit more choppier than the Coca-Cola move, but look at that. We were talking about every 100 levels. The market is continuing to push 100 points lower and lower here on the NASDAQ here. Now we're trading below 19 sixes. Can we get to 19 halves? We could not hold that 20,000 level off of the open there, and the spider's looking hella weak as well on the day. So who's in those shorts? Throw them up in the chat. Or are you in a long? Coke is working out absolutely beautifully as well.
Wow.
Great short there on Apple. That's a snipe, dude.
Those are two shorts there.
Those are entries, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick little double tap, pop.
Quick little pop. Yeah, I like that one. And we didn't really get reloaded, but I mean, at some point, man, I mean, I don't know. You gonna cut the rates, my guy, or what? Because like, oh shoot. Boom. I didn't push that. Who did that? Oh, my guy over there. Okay, I see you over there, Joseph, coming through. All right, well, I don't. Mr. Westermeyer in the chat there, he was like, man, 227 for Apple. Good look, but you off, my guy. I mean, it's a great look. It's 225.50 right now. Like, I don't. So there's a team that could come in pretty soon called the Plunge Protection Team.
Oh, yeah?
The PPT comes in and just buys the market. That's why I'm very hesitant to leave this desk here because, you know what's holding? Palantir's holding real sweet, man. And this is not just because, again, trying to talk up the book. This was down 8% like not too long ago. Now you're actually battled back. I mean, it's not battling back anything, but it's not doing this right now, right? It's, wow, the ES also down 2 and a bit percentage points right now. Yeah, a little speechless here for what we're doing. We're over $9 in the money, almost even more than that, as we're over $6 right now on Apple. We are over $3.50, that's $6.50, almost $10 now. We have some opportunities to get some more. I mean, this AMD move is huge. One more thing I want to talk about just real quickly before we go. So I've traded thousands of shares of AMD and hundreds of shares of Palantir, and I'm up significantly more on Palantir going long. So I just wanted to say, despite some of this talk that, you and I will talk about here, trying to, hold shorts and all this, my number one profitable name today is actually Palantir over Apple even. Because again, we like the stock, it hit our levels, we sat there with confidence and took shares. So this is going to be my number one stock. I mean, sure, Apple, and they're battling, obviously, and Apple probably takes it out once we eventually get out of this. But at the same time, just despite this happening, my number one stock is Palantir. And again, it's because we had confidence, dip buying into these levels, and really put on shares. Even if you only have a couple hundred shares, this drops down into 78.30 there. Our outs are 79.60, 79.50s on the top, right? And we really were able to get greedy and wait for VWAP and get greedy and wait for the 50-period moving average. So there's something to be said about making sure that you have the right prices at the right time. But definitely Palantir. As a long, I'm kind of a little bit embarrassed to say it's my best stock today because we really should not. It would be AMD 10 times over, but we just fought it too much on the way up, only to get some of these prints. All right, what's NVIDIA doing? Are we at 105 yet for NVIDIA? Yeah, wow. I kind of just threw that number out there. I was not expecting to be anywhere close to 105. So we have a number in 1 minute now. What is coming out at 10 o'clock? We can check our watch list, of course, that we put out every single day. And then I tweeted out some of the stuff that was happening here today also. I don't see anything coming out right now. So Adair, myself, Obi, we all don't know of this number coming up. There could well
job
be.
Openings tomorrow at 10.
All right.
So yeah.
You just check the earnings calendar or the numbers calendar up there right now. So all right, man, it's almost 10. It's almost 11 o'clock. Yeah. So Obi, let's finish it off here.
No, I think it's been a solid morning there. Wow. Shout out to everybody who had a solid morning as well. But yeah, we'll be back at 2 o'clock. But right now, we will pass it over to Adara and Joe in about 15 seconds. So I'll be watching this Intel 20 mark there. Hood continuing to watch that as well. But this market absolutely wild here. Kind of some strong selling coming in here. So sellers still in charge.
All right, I want to thank everybody. Yeah, now they're getting ready to lock and load over there. We don't want to throw it over too early. 2.2 likes, so thank you so much for that. We still have 9,000 watching. You're about to get treated to Joe and Adara here on the midday show. So thank you, Obi. We'll be back, obviously, at 2 p.m. So great trading over there as the shorts have really been printing out. I hope you guys had a good morning with us and even a better midday. So thank you to everybody, Bears vs. Bulls, Ramin, Fabian, Brendo, everybody for all the help, Andre as well. Thank you so much, and we'll join you back here, right here at 2 o'clock. But for now, we'll shift over to the left. Take care.
See ya.